This episode of an Unexpected Podcast is brought to you by Christina Fuentes. Thank you.
Hello, friends, and welcome to an Unexpected Podcast. I'm Ez.
And I'm Lane.
And we're talking Tolkien.
We're coming to you from the Shire of America, the beautiful state of Ohio, in a little village called Amanda. No north farther. We're all in the same building, same Hobbit hole.
We're all here. We're all in the house. We're all here. I mean, this week I can't do it anymore. I give up. I don't mean to be Curt, and I'm not.
What?
But he is.
Hello.
Let's go. That's pretty good. That's pretty good.
You did a good job reading that time.
Did I
Yeah,
write
I'll give
that?
it to you.
No.
No, you didn't, but you read it really, really well.
I read it better than I ever
read
have.
it really well.
Thank you.
The build-up is finally over. We have... Y'all know the man, the myth, the legend, the one and the only, Curt Jones. Well, he is here tonight with us. It's going to be an epic episode. We've had a wonderful night already. Curt just had to say, guys, I mean... It's getting on kind of late. Let's get this thing rolling. Ez and I have been putting off starting this episode because we don't want it to end.
Yeah.
Because we haven't seen Curt since LEP 2.
Right.
So over a year.
It's been far too long.
Far too long. And we have such good memories with Curt. Curt is like one of the first people we ever heard from in this podcast.
Yes, he is.
We didn't know before, had never met before, and who found us from like finding the podcast. So Curt's a very special person to us. We've loved having him here with us this evening, and this is just kind of a nice little nightcap for us, which is ironic because this is one of the reasons we're here tonight at all, and it's like the cherry on top. You know what I mean? It's the meat and potatoes was us hanging out before. We had a great meal hanging out. So before we get into quick counsel, we catch up with each other's lives. As I do have a confession to make.
Yeah,
it's Manscaped related. Your Manscaped lawnmower has escaped.
Okay.
And it's got me PO'd.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Because apparently they don't deliver to P.O. boxes.
Gotcha.
Where the name is just the Shire.
Okay.
P.O. Box 96. I guess it's kind of vague. There's no name attached to it. So your Manscaped lawnmower, and Manscaped, I know you're listening, okay? So when you get this, just say, oh, crap. Yeah, we'll get that out to you, Lane and Ez. We no more unexpected delays in that shipment. We got to get Ez's Old Forest under control. But it will be here soon. So... What have you been dreaming? So, I mean, how have you been fantasizing about using the lawnmower 4.0 or?
Yeah. I mean, it's well, first of all, it's got to get here before the summer because I need it desperately.
It's going to help with your beach bod, right? I mean,
and that's my main concern is the beach body being ready.
Trim back. Trim back the hedges a bit.
Oh, they more than need it. But I'm not alone in that, right, guys? I mean, come on, I want to be out here on an island.
It gets away from you.
Yeah.
Right? Doesn't it?
Creeps up on you.
Creeps up on you,
as they say.
It gets a little hairy.
Yeah, things do get a little hairy.
As they say in the Shire.
I want to say too, it's not it was a PO box, a PO'd situation as to why it didn't get here. They will send you your lawnmower.
Yes, they will. Oh my gosh, thank you. No, they do not. They don't stiff arm you if you have
this was
only
our
a P box. P box. Just cut this out. PO box. It's only because I didn't also attach our name to it. That's my fault. But yes, if you no matter how you want this thing shipped to you, they're going to get it to you. It's an incredible product. It's the 4th generation of the Manscaped lawnmower. They also have this really cool ultra smooth package. Nice play on words.
Wow.
They must have one of us writing for them. And it includes crop exfoliator.
Yes, it
not
does.
crotch, crop.
Right.
Crop gel. And the crop shaver, which is a groin razor, which, it sounds more painful than it really is. It'll keep you safe. It won't nick you. It's a 3-bladed razor for the old groin there.
For the old groin. Can I So this crop gel, this is what as I'm reading this, I'm looking at it. It's formulated for added confidence. What is that? I mean, is that just like
I don't know if you need any more of that.
I don't know if I
think he does.
This might be a bit much.
What kind of confidence are we talking about? Is this like personal confidence, or is this confidence in the ability of the razor to do its job and not cause
I think
damage?
That's what they're going for.
Possibly both.
I think
maybe your confidence increases because of your confidence in the lawnmower and the razor.
Yes,
perhaps.
Right?
Yes.
Like,
after using,
should we be using this stuff everywhere, or like on
during? Yes, its use. My God,
can I use it on my face?
I don't think you need any more confidence, Curt.
Yeah,
You're a beautiful man. Okay, a beautiful man. I might need this for my hair though, because I'm looking at these full-headed hair men here, and I want a full head of myself. Jeez. There is a wonderful promo code though, that because we're a part of the fan-sided family, what do they use? What do they get?
Yeah, so you can use fan-sided 20. That'll get you 25. Oh, 20. Why would I say 25?
I don't know. You're rounding up.
Was I hoping it would be 25?
Don't overpromise.
Don't overpromise.
Do not type in fan-sided 25. Just type in, you only get 20, friends. All right, sorry. Fan-sided 20. You get 20% off and free shipping. So you go to www.manscaped.com.
The funny thing is 20% is actually 1/14 share. So there's a lot of like,
oh wow,
there's a lot of is that right?
Yeah, it's insane.
Okay.
I don't do math.
Yeah,
so
I don't either.
Clearly,
I teach it, but I don't do it very well.
I can't even read numbers. So
we're in a rough spot here. But anyway, go check it out. Get yourself a lawnmower. It's an amazing promo code. Really, really cool stuff. You guys, can you see that image there?
I did see this image you put in the doc.
That.
Yeah.
I think that Manscaped is actually ancient alien technology and has been around a long, long time.
Yeah.
And that's proof right there.
I think this is definitely from the 1.0 version.
Yeah.
1.0, absolutely.
The
where
tree
it really used to
there,
cut grass.
I'll say that.
Yeah, just standing a lot taller. All right. Well, let's get into
Quick counsel.
Quick counsel.
Let's dive in.
I'm flustered, man. I'm like way too excited.
It's because we got this guy.
I
All the
know, dude.
He brought in
and
all
we
this
haven't
swagger.
recorded in person since Thanksgiving. By the way.
Oh, no
I know.
kidding.
It's the last time we've been in person to record, so that's why we're taking so long too.
Look
It's
at
just we don't want it to stop. Anyway,
It's a different feel.
It is a different feel. Oh yeah. I tell them that
like
all the time when I'm staring at a screen and I'm starting to go like this, and it's,
Yeah, bug eyes here. Oh, I was just gonna hold it for you. Yeah, sorry.
oh, okay. There's something in here. All right, I got you.
Yeah, just
Yes, but quick counsel. Let's get into how we're doing.
Yeah.
A lot of stuff going on. We've been catching up massively. Curt Jones, people know enough about us. Who gives a crap? Yeah. How are you, my friend? Not much is happening in your life, right?
You know, I'm doing really good. It's been far too long since we've sat down and done this together, and a lot has changed in I think everyone's lives.
Yeah.
over that amount of time.
Yes.
But I mean, life is good. Life is good. Life's unpredictable.
Yeah.
But I'm taking it as it comes. My wife and I are doing well. My boys are growing up big and strong.
Such a beautiful family.
Yeah, they've got blonde hair, blue eyes, and they're breaking hearts everywhere they go.
Let's go.
So
Taking after their parents. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I love them.
Trying to keep up with the Joneses is a feat for sure. So funny little story. I was texting Curt, or he texted me, and he was like, "Hey, do I need to bring headphones?" I was like, "Yeah, we got you covered. Bring some if you want, whatever." He goes, "I don't even know if I have any corded headphones." I was like, "It really is true about keeping up with the Joneses." Because I was like, "Yeah, me too. I don't have any corded."
You probably wouldn't if it weren't for this contraction.
That's probably true. It probably is only
They're
because of
kind of
podcasting.
hard to find.
Yeah, that's true. That's a good point.
Yeah.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
So family's great. Like it's been like probably 2.5 years since people have heard from you on here.
Yeah.
What's going on in life, man?
So family's good. Career's changing. The last time I was here, you asked me how work was going, and I think verbatim I said it's brutal.
Yeah.
That never changed. That still hasn't changed. That was I don't know. Was that 2017, 2018? I don't know when that was.
A long time ago.
Time ago.
Yeah.
But here we are in 2021, after an unusual year for all of us. And I know for my wife and I, and a lot of people will probably say the same thing. Last year and this early spring and early winter of this year has put a lot of things into perspective, I think, for a lot of people about family, focusing on what's important to you, what makes you happy. You know, and my wife and I have been doing a lot of soul searching over this time and talking together, and we decided that life is too short to waste time, doing things just because it's what we do, right? And I'm speaking from a career standpoint, just because you are in a job for a long time, or you're with the same company for 10 years, and that just becomes your identity. And that's not a good thing. You see, we were able to separate from that, you know, working from home and being remote and not going to that place every day. We were able to actually separate from that and realize.
Provides a lot of perspective that way too.
We realized where we were. Like our jobs and our careers have become our identity. So in order to get away from that, we've both decided to make some career changes. Yeah. You know, my wife has left her job that she's been with for 12 years. I'm leaving the job I've been with for 9, almost 10 years, stepping into completely different career paths. I'm going from a corporate marketing job to I'll be a lifeguard this summer. I know. I've always wanted to do that my whole life, and here I am, 37. I'm finally going to do it.
No, awesome.
Yeah, I'm going to be a lifeguard this summer, and when that's over in the fall, I'm going to drive a school bus for my boys' school district.
It, dude.
And honestly, I can't wait. I can't wait for any of it. And it's just, it's just a total paradigm shift from everything that we've been used to. But we feel good going forward, and we definitely feel like we're making the right decisions. So we couldn't be happier. That's where we're at.
It's beautiful. You were talking about how applicable these stories are before. I don't know if you wanted to bring this up later or now, but you know, last chapter, right? You were talking about the I don't know how Bilbo's walk was coinciding with where you are presently, and how just eerie. You know, we were talking about, like, are you looking for it more as you read these stories, or is it just the applicability of Tolkien, how he wrote his stories to, like, using enough metaphor? You know, dragons can symbolize anything. We all relate to fear, and being able to put it in such a way that we can go, that's how I feel right now, kind of a deal. Yeah.
What we were saying was it's. We've seen this time and time again throughout the rereads, you know, going all the way back to the Lord of the Rings. It seems like these stories parallel our lives as we go forward. It just seems uncanny how many times it comes up. You can catalog it into probably pages and pages of instances where we've called this out. Yeah. This is just another one of those. Yeah. I mean, just a few weeks ago, maybe a month ago, you know, I'm toiling with all these decisions because this stuff just happened in my life, like just in the last month. Like everything got flipped upside down in the last month, wild, right? Man. And we're reading, you know, the first bit of chapter 12, and, you know, Bilbo's in the hallway, and he's about to go out, you know, and he's struggling, right? Like he's really has like this internal struggle to force himself to go do this thing that he calls the bravest thing he's ever done, and it's just weird. I mean, I know it seems weird, but I was going through the same thing at the same time. Yeah. In my head, you know, and in my heart, like, am I making the right decision? Like, what I'm setting out to do sounds pretty ludicrous, really, to any, you know, sane person, but I'm going to do it anyway. Yeah.
Sounds like a dragon, right? Sounds like a dragon.
It was my dragon.
Yeah. Yeah.
It really was.
Yeah. Well, isn't it, doesn't Tolkien kind of say, like, the real battle was fought right there? It was like right there in that hallway, sort of. Right. And it just, it's the time where you're alone, and you're thinking, okay, this is up to you. Like, we have to make these. Like, you have to make that decision for yourself. You know what you all have always wanted to do, and what's good for you. And then you talk about that with your wife, and how does it fit into your family? I mean, I'm telling you, it motivated me to hear it, because I'm kind of doing the same thing. If you don't mind me just saying, like, I'm looking at 10 years I've been working at the same job, and I said something is telling me to move on.
And it was weird for me, right? Because I didn't get all the details. I just got the teaser trailer that Curt texted me, and I was like, oh my gosh. So not only just the story reflecting it, but like my involvement, my best buddy Ez doing this reflected what was going on in your life. I was like, holy crap. And I thought you were joking at first. I was like, or not joking, but I thought you knew that Ezra was also doing the same thing. And I was like, are they messing with me? Or like what? And then I said, do you know about Ezra? And he was like, no. Yeah. And then I was like, it is amazing. And I'm sure this is probably something that's happening a lot. Like you said, I think maybe this past year, being just throwing things into sharp relief, prioritizing certain things for people, reprioritizing maybe even, or just saying, I think also it's shown us that what we think is impossible isn't really that impossible.
Yes.
I think it's shown us that, like, the world can stop on a dime. And when the world can stop on a dime, anything, you can do anything. Yeah. Like changing a career is not that big of a deal. Yeah. No sweat.
When we got through what we got through last year, and here we are, the three of us sitting around a table.
I know. Isn't it amazing?
Yeah.
I know, it's amazing.
It's
and how
incredible.
we had to put this off so long. 6 months, wasn't it?
Before we get too far,
I would. We got to get into this, Kurt.
I know. But
I'm
before we
joking.
get too far from this, I would encourage anyone who has recently experienced or is currently experiencing the same type of life changes or life decisions. Go post it on the group, because I think it's encouraging. You said, I had no idea what you were going through when I started describing it earlier tonight over dinner, and you said that it encouraged you, and I would strongly suggest everyone in the group do that if you have a similar experience, because I think we all could use that encouragement from one another. Sometimes you just need something to nudge you along a little bit.
And I think if nothing else, we can be inspired by bravery, right? Like I see, and I've done a similar thing where I was in a teaching job that I hated. I quit it and I worked at Walmart. We only had one car. I walked from our apartment to Walmart, sometimes in the rain, sometimes late at night, and I was like, it's just better than doing that job right now. And I think you stepping out, you doing what you're doing, you stepping out, doing what you're doing, leaving the comforts of home. It's what this story is all about.
Oh my gosh,
you're
right.
leaving the comforts of home.
I did not even put that together.
To go on an adventure where you think it's so weird. I'm also this is again. So we've been on the Bulls kick, right? Bilbo's the Dennis Rodman of the company. You know, Gandalf is Phil Jackson. I've taken such a toll on nostalgia that I've revisited my childhood heroes of the Chicago Bulls from the 90s. I was a kid in Chicago, lived there until 1995. So my earliest memories are of the Bulls, right? But Michael Jordan's book Rebound is written by Bob Green. Wonderful book. Go check it out. If you don't like sports, I'm sorry, a little plug, just speed ahead. But it's all about his decision to quit basketball and to play baseball. And it was after his father died. He needed a change. He felt like it's something that his dad had always kind of envisioned for him, something that he had always wanted to do as well. And he talks about this too. People said he was nuts. People said he was going to tarnish his career as a basketball player, right? And he said it's not about any of that. They're like, you'll never be a great baseball player. You'll never be the greatest baseball player. You'll never be an elite baseball. He said, I don't care. I'm doing this because it's something I want to do. People don't understand that. Because it was all about this, you're going to tarnish your legacy. It's a legacy. So I don't have a legacy. I have my life.
Let's go.
I don't have a legacy. I have my life, man. And I just think it is inspiring when we see people brave enough to go, I'm going to leave the comforts of home. I'm going to go take on an adventure. No idea how because it's also a real life demonstration of hope, of faith as well. Like you have no idea how it's going to turn out. You know how you want it to hope for it to turn out, but you don't know for sure. And that's the only way to live, guys. Like, that's the only way to live. We see it here. Bilbo's not always happy. He's not always sure how it's going to turn out, but he is alive, and you can't tell him he's not alive.
Let's go, dude.
Right?
I mean,
he's living
alive,
life to its fullest, and that's what you guys are doing. You're on your own. So, yes, if you're hearing this and you're like, man, I don't know. Like, I want to take a step. Just reach out to someone and at least have a conversation about it, because sometimes it's not always the right thing. But I think you know deep down for yourself when it is time. You know when it's time. And if anything, you like we were talking earlier, you might say to yourself, man, I should have done this like 5 years ago. But that wasn't the time. The time is when you do it. When you do it is when you were supposed to. But I'm inspired by you guys too. Like I hear, and I'm just like, man, I tell you what, like it makes me. So what it did for when Ez brought this up, what it made me realize is like, man, I don't want to waste any more time. Like I have these stories I want to get written, and I don't want to publish them. I want them to be for the girls only. I want to go the opposite of putting your stuff out there, but it's work that I still have yet to do that I want to get done. Other things, personal goals that I want to set. So for me, instead of like changing career, it's all about changing how I'm spending my free time. So right now, a lot of times my free time is recovery. It's recovery from work. It's recovery from like wanting to be with my girls every minute and having some me time. And sometimes that's just sitting and doing nothing. But I'm like, I need to work on those goals, because it's going to be 10 years from now, and I won't have done a lick of work towards those goals. And I don't want that time to go by, because it will make me a better person. It'll make me a better dad, better husband. So it's inspiring to me too, guys. I like, even if it's not a career change, it's just stepping out and doing something that is worthwhile.
Not to make another. Well, we're reading the Hobbit, so make a connection here. Smaug just lays on all that gold. He just stays in there. It doesn't live. None of it
that's true.
matters, And so I worried with my job. I'm like, I'm taking a pay cut. You know, this is going to be tough. What am I going to do? I still want to travel. There's things I want to do. But, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like I could be smog and I could lay on my, this little bit of money that I've, that I've got or the comforts of that job, knowing that, I know I'm miserable, but I'll keep going. And it just didn't feel like life anymore. It didn't feel like I was really living, like you guys are saying. And that is what's important, man. It is, and we might fail. Life is full of failures. We already have failed a whole bunch. And you look at it and you think, because that was one of my things. I was like, well, what if I go after this and I fail? Man, if I kept thinking about that, I'd never walk outside of my door. I just wouldn't go out. I wouldn't get on the road and see where it takes me. And so I'm super pumped. And I'm with Curt. Go share your story in the group.
Yeah.
Let people know. Encourage one another. That's what we're here for. It's a fellowship.
I'd love to see that.
So, the whole reason we're even a group, honestly. Yeah.
Don't hear what I'm not saying. I'm not telling everyone to quit your job tomorrow.
Curt said.
Could you imagine? Like the entire workforce just stops.
It's in their resignation letter.
Curt Jones told me to quit my job. Okay. No, I'm not unhappy, but I'm just getting out. I didn't listen to the whole thing. I sped ahead. Lane started talking about Michael Jordan. I was out.
Too short.
All I heard was life was short. Quit your job.
God.
Jeez.
It's got to be the right time.
Okay.
Got to be the right time. Yep. But this has been amazing. Just to so I can have this little thing for myself, this nugget to uncover. We just ate so many wings.
So good.
What did you think of they weren't the Village wings. They were wings from a little place in Lancaster called Cherry Street Pub. Legendary. If you don't tip, they kick you out forever. But that's okay. I understand that. I always tip anyway. But peanut butter and jelly wings.
I'm going to stop there on my way out and tip them. And I didn't even buy the wings.
Say thank you.
Let's go.
And if they're closed, you're slipping it under the door.
The peanut butter and jelly wings.
Yeah.
All right. Hold on. I'm going to say that again.
Yep.
Because you probably need it. You don't have to rewind. I'm just going to say it again.
Just wipe your mouth.
Peanut butter and jelly wings. All right. So the wings are obviously, I think they were fried or roasted, whatever. They're coated with this peanut butter sauce. You said Smucker's jelly. And then
Reese's peanut butter.
Reese's
as well.
peanut butter.
Yep.
Smucker's jelly. And then topped with chopped up nuts. I'm telling you, it is the best wing I've ever eaten.
Yeah, they're good. Yeah.
I wasn't expecting that.
Phenomenal.
I knew you enjoyed them, but best wing you've ever had.
And
what
was good is once we had gotten through 4 or 5 of them, this little bowl, this little hole at the bottom of the platter was just like the sauce, like of the combined peanut butter and jelly, and you could just spoon it on top of your wings.
Man, you could even, you know what?
So
you could
good.
even get some high quality bread and just put that on and make a peanut butter and jelly sandwich.
I really would.
Oh, yeah.
I would actually.
I might too.
I would love to have like a baguette or something. Just
dunk it.
sop it up.
Hey,
So
he's
good.
left you a baguette.
Oh my gosh, so good.
It's baguette. I thought as a kid though, he said he's left you a baguette, and I thought,
Oh.
left him bread? It's a ripoff.
But
But
yes,
wonderful
our
night.
jelly wings.
Just sitting outside eating. Yeah, fantastic. Ezzy, boy, you doing good?
Hey, I'm doing great, man. I'm
Good,
happy to dive into this. I'm
too.
pumped. It's good to see Curt, and we got a little video from Kelly. Shout out to Kelly. Wanted to say hey. Wonderful family.
Hey,
so
babe.
Family.
there we go.
Love you, babe.
You been all right, brother? You good?
I'm doing great, man. I'm just,
Good.
I keep telling, sometimes I get so excited to talk to you, so excited to talk to Curt, that I just like, I get, you know, like revved up.
Yep.
I'm like, boom, 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 boom. And I always think to myself, I need to just shut up and listen more, because I love engaging in conversation so much.
Oh,
that
no, yeah,
I don't,
yeah.
but at the same time, I'm like, I love hearing you guys talk.
It's
like
a
the
balance.
beautiful voices, the wisdom you have. And I'm just like, sometimes I'm so worried engaging in a conversation that it's like, hold on, just like wait a minute, just like silence. Tolkien teaches us time and time
Yes.
again that silence is more powerful than words. And so just I'm excited today to remember that, to go through this chapter and just to hear the connections that you've made.
Yeah.
Put in a couple of mine,
Yeah.
but just like
Kurt's got some
selfishly,
good-
I'm receiving.
Yeah.
I'm receiving tonight.
That's fine.
You
Let's
haven't
go.
been here since
Yep.
Thanksgiving.
Yep.
Curt Jones is in the building. It's a beautiful day.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm
It
wonderful.
has been a beautiful day, hasn't it?
And it was just
Yeah.
great. Yeah, it was
The
gorgeous
weather-
outside.
It's like summer out there.
Get out of here.
Yeah, couldn't be any better.
Now I know that this we were talking serious connections to the chapter and how real life parallels, but I do have sort of maybe a less serious one. I don't know if you guys noticed this.
I
sort
did.
of a subtle, dainty chain.
I
around my
did
neck.
notice it.
It is a fine chain, and by fine I mean
You probably
good
didn't.
looking.
It's sort of like nondescript, so you wouldn't have noticed it. It's not in your face or anything. Go check out the video so you can see what I'm talking about. But so in this chapter, the dwarves reclaim the jewels,
Yep.
and the riches of their forefathers, right? So last week we actually finished. Well, whenever you're listening to this, last week as of now, we finished up the fence job at my parents' house, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
And we were out there. It was my dad, my Uncle Bobby, my brother-in-law Darrell, just putting up Ramas Accor, you know what I mean? So the girls can play in the side yard. It was awesome. My Uncle Bob is a freaking genius. He could build anything. He built houses for years. He just looked up. He'd never done fences before, and it looks like a professionally installed chain link fence. And I'm just like, and I got to learn a lot from him. It was great. But Dad is always wearing these big old chains, right? And I was like, Dad, let me see that thing, man.
Let me see that thing, Dad.
And I've been wanting one of these, but I was kind of afraid to buy one. I was like, I don't know. I'm gonna look like a tool, or as one of my colleagues told me, I looked like a thug.
Thug. Wow.
I was like, okay, cool. I'll take that.
That's really far.
But
Really
I've been wanting one of these, so I just took it off Dad. I'm like, Dad, it's my inheritance. I'm gonna take this. He goes, it's fine, son. Go ahead and have it.
Wow.
So I take it here. Darrell, take the other one. And I was like, dude, I love this thing. But I thought to myself, I'm like, this is a dwarven chain.
It looks good on you.
And this, fellas, this is my summer chain.
It is dwarvish. It's very,
Isn't it?
It's very agonal.
It's
very symmetrical.
Yep, lots of angles going on. It's bold. It's strong. It's not going to rip off playing with the girls. You know what I mean? It's also kind of chokerish length, which I've been looking for.
It looks good on you. It's a good size.
So anyway, my forefather, I have taken it back.
Yes.
From him.
Yes.
And he said, "Son, go forth." So anyway,
I love it.
I just love how, and I thought of that today. I was like, Sarah, I just took jewelry from Dad. That's kind of like what the dwarves did in this chapter. I was like, am I looking for stuff? She's like, you might be reaching. Let's do some dropping eaves. So the creepy thing is, last time Curt was at this table recording a conversation with us was the huge reveal of the loader on Prime, and also the first time I ever heard and used the pronunciation of a loader for LOTR.
Yeah, that's right.
I was the nerd who was always going, LOTR, LOTR. And then Curt rocked my world by showing me and introducing me to the term loader.
Yep.
And they had just released or just dropped their Twitter account, right? Mm-hmm. And they had just posted it was the very first images they ever posted from the map.
It was just a piece of the
It was
map.
just it was just a piece of parchment.
It wasn't the whole thing.
Yeah, that's right.
We were looking at we were like, oh, what is it? What is it? It's blue. The trilogy, Return of the King, right?
Yes, it was
I
just
don't
the
know.
color.
We were looking for everything.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
So, and that was the first like official release from social media that they had done. So the genesis of their kind of interaction with us as fans directly. So it's fitting that Curt is here today because I have some notes here, but I want to know what Curt wants out of this show. I haven't talked to you about the show since that night. Maybe at the party, maybe a little bit at the party, but
I do want to get into what I would like to see from the show.
Yep.
Is there more news?
Yeah, let me just
something just dropped tonight.
Yeah.
That as a little nugget
Thank
has
you,
found,
thank you.
and it's just full circle.
It's creepy.
It's just rings. It is creepy. Yes, it is.
creepy.
So creepy. It's dragon-esque.
Yeah,
It's like someone's not at home, or are they?
And the crazy thing is, like news here.
Now, is this official, babe?
Well,
official?
this is yeah, it's official.
You do need Manscaped, bro. You're gonna go on those arms too.
Hey, easy, Cal.
Cut that down.
So this was actually
It's wasting away tonight.
Tolkien News. So
Okay, so it's not official, but perhaps.
yeah. So this is not necessarily official, but they tweeted this 3 hours ago, and I follow them. Shout out to Tolkien News, who keeps up really well on a lot of this stuff.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to see if this was on via. It says something media. Let me see here.
So you vouch for them though. They're reliable. It's not like the one clickbait.net or anything
no,
like that.
and they're quoting another. I don't know where this is. It's a different country, a different media site that runs some. I'll put the links down in the description for you guys just to follow these Twitter accounts. But filming of the Lord of the Rings series has already reached the final episode of season 1. In about 2 months, filming of season 1 will be completely finished. The production will continue directly with season 2. Now that's
So they're about to wrap up season 1.
That's bold.
They'll
I don't-
have, 6 months of post production, maybe more.
They said even less.
Even
Would you
less?
say 3 months?
Yeah,
3 months
it says
post, wow.
so in about 2 months filming. In about 2 months, filming of season 1 will be completely finished. So, but yet they said it's reached the final, like we're kind of there.
So
they're just getting that final episode or so, like, you know what I mean, in a half or something.
Let's play the over. Let's say that they're not done with the show until September, October, November. Finished editing, music, everything. Let's say that that's the case. When do you think this gets released?
What if they did like a late December release, like to coincide with the original trilogy coming out?
I said Christmas.
Yeah, that would be incredible.
What do you say? I think Christmas.
Oh, I think
this
Christmas is great.
We could have it, guys. Oh my gosh! Think about just coming out of. They've kept it secret. They've kept it under wraps. Now I bet stuff will leak.
They've kept it secret. They've kept it safe.
Safe.
Yes, sir.
Sorry.
Got it. You sound like that. Sounds like something I would have done if I was smarter. But like, yeah. So they've kept it under wraps, right?
Yeah.
Now maybe during some post-production stuff, some stuff could slip out. But man, I don't know. Like if they could keep it this quiet until that, whenever they release it, and then just boom, it would explode. We would be totally taken aback. I would love it, honestly, if they dropped this thing. This would make sense to me without even putting out a trailer.
Oh yeah,
I know that we've been
do
like, give us something. They don't need one. I don't think
They
they could.
don't
They could do it.
And honestly, how many trailers for TV? I know it's more common than it used to be, but a trailer's a movie thing anyway. It's not really a TV show thing. Like you don't go, did you see the new trailer for season whatever of whatever? Now, some of like diehard fans would, but it's not like something you usually, if you're watching a trailer-esque commercial for a show, it's out already. You know what I mean? It's not building up to anything. So I almost think, don't do that. Release it end of December, Christmas, coinciding exactly with when the theatrical films were released. It'd be amazing.
Epic.
Because it is only May, right? I mean, it's only May.
Yeah. So here's this is the Twitter handle. You want to say that for me? Like
Terra Media.
And then BR. So I'll put their handle down there, but this is what a lot of the other Tolkien accounts are like going off of. I don't know where they're getting, if they've got like an insider, or, you know, people have their source or whatever. But yeah, so the Lord of the Rings series has already started filming the last episode. So they're calling it season finale, like the finale of season 1.
Wow.
And everything ends. So like that whole process of filming this big season finale will end in just about 2 months. The closing episode will last for a longer recording time than your previous episodes.
So they'll be done in like middle of this year. Man.
Yeah, and so from there, I mean,
could be Christmas.
Could be, but it'd be pushed. I mean, but they could be working on, with COVID, you're working on a lot of different things. You're getting other stuff done that you already had shot. You got a whole other crew working on post-production. I don't know. You get the showrunners looking at that versus your directors going out and doing their thing and getting the shots. I don't know.
It's cool. Very exciting. That's big. That's big time news.
That's cool.
What do you want to see out of the show, Curt? I want to see, like, what are your what's your wish list?
Yeah.
And then what do you think? And then even if you want to talk at some point, some of the rumors of like it being a little more like intimacy. There's going to be some intimacy, possibly some nudity.
Yeah, no.
You know, how does that factor into? Do you think that's getting into the realm of like too much of like a Game of Thrones type show, or do you think it has a place in Middle Earth? Just your thoughts about that.
Well, specifically to that, I think it can have a place in Middle Earth, but it has to be tasteful, right? You can't go the raunch style that you would see from a show like Game of Thrones. Like it has to be. It has to maintain a certain level of class. It has to.
Okay.
It has to be. I hate to use this word, but it has to be soft.
Soft.
See what I mean?
Yeah, more Jack and Rose.
Yes.
Less. What's the brother and sister? Incest.
Jamie and Cersei Lannister.
Less that, right?
Bingo.
Yeah.
You got it. More Jack and Rose.
Wow.
Quick cuts to just
my
the
kids
middle.
will appreciate that. They're such Titanic.
Do they like Titanic?
They love Titanic.
Where's the Titanic? We have a Titanic bell somewhere, right over there.
Oh, they'll flip over that.
It's Sarah's favorite film. She loves it.
But I think if you're Amazon, you don't drop a half a bill on this out of the gate to go after people like us, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
You're going to focus on Second Age, right?
Yes.
We all feel pretty good about that.
Yes.
There's a lot of material to get into in the Second Age. There's a lot of characters. There's a lot of events. There's a lot of things that you could write about. But again, that's not widely known to the population at large. That's known to nerds like us.
Right.
So I think Amazon focuses on Sauron, right? Your Gen Pop knows Sauron, and they know the ring, and they know that he created the ring. I think if they focus on him and how he manipulated the elves to create the rings of power, there's a lot there you can get into, and then how ultimately it led to him creating the One Ring, and you can tie that in with everything everybody already knows now about the story later on.
It's the common thread. That's the old familiar.
Yeah. I mean that's how you link everything for everybody. So because
it is his age. The second age is it's Sauron's age.
Yeah,
it's his rising from well, he kind of feigns apology, and then he flees to the east, and it takes hundreds of years for him to, kind of like return, right? And then the deception and the building of Barad-dûr and his stronghold in Mordor, and then him eventually being captured by the Númenóreans, and then creating the cults, and so I think that's brilliant, and you're right, like, because all this stuff that I just named was stuff that I didn't know about 10 years ago. You know what I mean? It's something I've discovered as I've become more and more of a fan, and thought, okay, where else can I look outside of Lord of the Rings? What other things would interest me? What are these second and first ages like?
Yeah.
So you're right. You're not gonna lead off with obscurity. You want a strong leadoff hitter. You want to get on base, right? So that you can set up some runs.
Yeah. I mean, and you can have multiple storylines. You can totally. We can get to know the Númenóreans.
True.
We can get to know all of that. But I think you've got to have something to bring it home that's common for everyone. And what's common for everyone here is the ring and Sauron.
Here's something I want to hear your opinion on. Like how up close and personal do we get to Sauron? Because he's always been so mysterious.
Yeah.
For most of the trilogy, he's not even not even corporeal.
Yeah,
right.
He's
just a body.
A
spirit.
Well, so the good thing about Second Age is you could see him. You can see the duel,
Anatar.
It's when he feigned to be Anatar. To get to know the elves.
Yeah.
I mean, you get to see him in like human form.
Yes,
and that would be kind of neat.
Do you think?
I'm not saying that they have to do a Sauron show. I'm not saying I want this to be the Sauron hour. I think that's the angle you take if you want to bring in a very large audience.
Yes.
Yeah.
You think they could pull off like a reveal of Anatar as Sauron for people who have no idea?
Oh, right. So here's this person, Anatar, and then later, maybe like at the end of season 1, there's like a teaser that he's somebody else that we know.
Because I almost think they could do that in a way that still gratifies people who know that's who that is.
Yeah. Because we're watching and we know, and we're like, ooh, yeah, I see where this is going.
It would be like people who took us to the films, right? And like my uncle who knew the story.
Right.
He still enjoyed it, but I still enjoyed it, not knowing, being totally ignorant of all of that stuff. But it was a different level of enjoyment, right? He's analyzing, comparing it to the story he knows. I'm just caught up and bewildered.
That's kind of like that.
You know what I mean? So I would love to see if they could try to pull that off. And I'm sure, obviously, these guys are super fans and this massive group of really diverse creatives. I was even thinking about Wayne Che Yip. Yeah. He's worked on a lot of comedy.
Yeah,
a lot of comedy with Rogan and then P.O.
Yeah.
And I think like this age has to have some humor too, because we're going to miss that with the lack of hobbits, and sort of like comic relief characters that way. They're going to have to find a way to work that in, and
that's true. There's very little humor.
Yeah, and they're gonna. I think
in
they
that
can,
text.
Right. It's pretty. Yeah. Portions are, from what I've read anyway, are really dry. Yeah. Right. Really dry, and it's serious stuff.
Yeah. That's it. It's serious. It's heavy.
Heavy. Yeah. It's a more mythic age than we're even used to in the third age, which is crazy to even think about. Yeah. But okay, so focus on Sauron. What else are you thinking?
Well, like I said, there's. I mean, the Second Age, it lasts for 3,400 years. Yeah, there's plenty of material to choose from. I think they could take a few more storylines, and they could introduce us to some of those Númenórean stories and some of the back and forth on the sea. I think
almost like
get some really good stuff
work towards that climax of when the Númenor falls and
They didn't just show us. I mean, the big reveal and all the map stuff was Second Age, but then they finally the landing point where their big thing was Numenor. Like they showed us this.
That was the huge reveal.
Island, and so everyone was like, "Oh, here we go. We're going to Numenor." So, but you're right, Curt. Like, how are we going to jump from king to queen, and what are we going to? I mean,
I haven't spoke this one yet, other than to you, but I think Emma Horvath is going to be the first queen of Numenor.
Yeah.
I don't know why. I've just had this. It's on a pile of notes over there with the Second Age timeline. It lines up with Sauron coming back and starting to mess around with the elves, starting to deceive them a little bit. Is when she, I believe anyway, she becomes the first queen of Numenor, and she's the only actress. Well, a lot of them we don't know who they're going to be. We know Morfydd Clark is going to be Galadriel, which that's something we talked about in that episode of imagining other people playing those. Like who could be Galadriel other than Cate Blanchett? Who could be Elrond other than Hugo Weaving, right? And so, but Morfydd Clark she's winning all kinds of awards. She's up for a BAFTA, is that right?
Yeah, she did. I think she won it or something.
There you go. So she's getting big time awards. She looks so much like Cate Blanchett. It's crazy. I don't know why I'm not sure where the tangent I'm going on. But anyway, I think Emma is going to be.
Could be that.
And think about like how fitting that would be, a strong female character, right?
Yeah.
And she was like a shepherdess queen who had to take a husband and then said, "I don't want this dude." Like, so like a female empowerment story as well, and a strong female character, which I'm sure they're thinking, how do we show more of these? Because Tolkien did that and if you watch Tolkien, you I don't know how much of this was based in reality, whatever, but in the Tolkien biopic film, you have his like imaginings of women being these warriors, whereas before in mythology it didn't exist.
Right.
It was all men. It was all like these heroic male archetypes, right? And how Tolkien was someone who, even just that whole play on "no man can kill me, I am no man," boom, like Eowyn. We love Eowyn. We love Arwen. We love Galadriel. We like these strong women leaders, and to think of the ones that are going to come up in this show as well. It's just exciting. There's so much, and the diversity of the cast too is crazy. It is so awesome to see like people from all over the world, and of all different skin colors and ethnicities and backgrounds, and it's a beautiful thing, because Middle Earth is this rich place, right? It's this rich place that spans into the white spaces, and we're getting a greater glimpse of that than we ever have before. So, man, it's gonna be.
This show's gonna be
to
sick.
watch the show with you guys.
This show is gonna be
wait.
absolutely sick.
This has to be the most hyped TV show ever.
How could it not? Yeah,
how could it not be? The money they're spending, they're keeping things top secret. This is all good stuff. Great casting, and there's a lot there's so many gaps to fill with the Numenorians. Let's go. They can tell a story that none of us have ever. We could get attached to one Numenorian, someone, a prince or whoever, and follow this individual and say, I don't know if that people are going to be, are we going to accept that? I don't know, because I'm also fine being the guy who goes in and says, "Hey, I've read that book, and I still want to see how it unfolds in the movie." I'm fine with that, but it's really just a big outline. There's some story, but there's big major takeaways and points.
You mean the Second Age itself?
The Second Age,
it's not like and that's the thing. I think that was the big thing at the beginning too. They were talking. That's why they brought Tom Shippey on, and the Tolkien estate, or part of the reason, at least it was speculated, because he knew Tolkien's timeline and
keep the spirit
and writing so well, and to make sure that they didn't change any major pillars, so that they could go in between those pillars and see what they could play with. But as long as it didn't affect those, it was fine. So the opportunity for like more, I think more than even in Lord of the Rings, like creation versus interpretation, and how it's almost going to be equally both in a way. And in a way that people can't go, well, that didn't happen. Well, you don't know. Happened in between.
Yeah.
We don't know. What did Tolkien imagine?
Our generation is blessed to have Shippey.
Yeah.
Dude, isn't he?
I don't think our enjoyment of Tolkien would be as stellar if it weren't for him. He sheds so much light on things.
He's unreal.
Yeah.
He's unreal. And he knew the man.
Yeah.
And he taught similar courses at the same school as he did. And there's the love of language, the love of words.
I have read those first two chapters.
What do you think?
Yes, because like what he talks about, language and themes and word choice and all that kind of stuff. It is unparalleled. So I have some notes and stuff, but we should do a full episode,
like a review of that
a full
book would be
episode
cool.
to that book, because he does a really good job of pulling out some of the finer points and just motivations behind Tolkien's work. It's sick. It's actually over my head. I mean, and I love it.
I have to read it so slow.
Yeah, me too.
And several times for each sentence.
Me too.
Yeah. But
All
anyway,
right.
that's awesome, dude. Very exciting to look forward to that. It was cool to hear your thoughts as well, Curt. Can't wait. Are you starring in it, by the way?
You got a lead role?
Is that the haircut reason? You got to fit the wig
Surprise
over
role.
top? Is that why you're growing the beard out?
So tonight we're going to start the reread.
He can't talk about it. He's sworn to secrecy. He's been in that room with Payne and McKay. Under lock and key. So in other corners of Middle Earth, real quick, make sure you go get some Dr. Peen. I did it again. It can make you pee if you drink too much of it. Get some Dr. Bean coffee. Go to drbeancoffeecompany.com. They've got the Up blend, which is delicious, but all of their roasts are fantastic. Go check them out. It's the only brew or steep for the brave and true. Our good friend Charlotte Hinton and her friend Dean run that company, and they do it so well. And honestly, I haven't said this for a long time, but I can't even wrap my head around the honor it is to have a coffee with our podcast group's logo on it.
Yeah.
Named after us.
Yeah.
And it was Charlotte who came to us and said, "Hey, can we do this?" It wasn't something that we tried to make happen. It's so humbling and flattering.
Organic.
And
she's awesome.
I still have the very first package of coffee she ever sent us. The coffee's gone, obviously.
Yeah.
But when the studio is finished, that's going to be framed and put up on a wall because it means so much to us.
Is that the coffee that we took home from LEP2?
Yeah.
You would have been. We had tons of coffee.
She brought,
I took home half a dozen. That stuff was gone. It was so good.
So good.
It's delicious. And it was so cool, the process of that. She actually sent us samples of things to try and said, which notes do you want? What do you want? So Charlotte's amazing.
Yeah, she is.
It's never bad having a Charlotte in your life. We are burning some incredible scents right now.
Yeah. Come on now. Don't forget it.
That's the Phoenix.
That's some sniff.
Look, Kurt's
That's some
putting his head right into
sniff action right there.
Not Phoenix, Arizona.
Don't forget the sniffing.
But a phoenix from the ashes, and never forget that sniffing. These candles are amazing. Firelight Fables Candle Company. Casey does an incredible job. Her candles are amazing. She just released a mythical creatures line. There's the Drake, the Golden Drake. There's the Fire Phoenix. There's the Merfolk. I can't remember all the names. They're amazing. Just go check it out. Firelight Fables Candle Company on Instagram. Search for them on any search engine. You're going to find them. But the really cool thing, we're continuing this promotion. It's been wonderful for her. It's been amazing for us. Use the code FIREITUP, all one word. You get 10% off of your order. They legit are the only candles we buy anymore. They're unbelievable. We do have a commercial that's coming very soon.
Yeah.
Our good friend Cam.
Yeah.
Who is he's a genius. He's really good at what he does. We're actually meeting him in a couple weeks. We're going to go out to Clear Creek. And we're going to spot scout some locations for filming a commercial, and we're very excited about that. It's going to be awesome. So thank you, Cam, for that. Go check out the Lord of Maps, Isaac, over on Instagram, Lord_of Maps. He's got amazing maps and stickers and T-shirts and stuff that he does in the style of Lord of the Rings maps. They're amazing. He's a wonderful ringer and a beautiful artist. It's wonderful to support people who live their passions. Yeah. So
Isaac's work is incredible.
It's amazing, isn't it?
I love it.
The T-shirt with the turtle. I'm moving mountains, but just really slowly.
I
got to get one of those.
I love it.
I need to get one of those. Yeah, there it is right there. And the stickers are awesome, man. And he's got a potato pack that has.
That Ohio.
Oh man, it's great, isn't it? And I love how he I reached out to him. I was like, got this podcast. We're in Amanda. Could you put it on the map? And it's on there. Big one.
Yeah, that's huge.
Which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
Honored by that as well.
Let me know when you order your T-shirt. We'll do like bulk shipping.
Let's get it.
Let's do it. Okay, let's do it.
Yeah.
Let's do it. All right. So not at home.
Yeah.
The reread. We're into it. What's going on?
Hey,
did I forget something?
No. You are at home.
He is not at home.
You're not at home.
You're not. You guys don't feel at home.
I'm not, I feel at home. Do you feel at home?
Very much.
I feel at home, but I think
I saw Curt. He said he walked in the front. He walked in the back gate and he said, "It's so good to be here."
I know. I know.
I was like, "Jeez, dude."
Lane was like, "Welcome."
I almost started crying. Yeah, it is.
Yeah. So
I was running around like Bilbo too.
You were.
It's
And
real.
I appreciate
It's
all the
real.
coffee and the hot.
Oh, heck yeah.
You always
You
are.
gotta take
are
care of my
wonderful.
friends,
I
my
know.
brothers, man.
Bilbo Smith over here.
So Curt's our expert. We brought him in. This is chapter 13, Not at Home, and I'm gonna just do kind of a summary. I like just to get this summary out of the way, and then we can analyze it. What in the French toast is going on?
Sound like me.
Lane's rubbing off on me. Actually, no. People know I rubbed off on you, and you're just whatever.
This isn't a Manscaped commercial. You don't have to.
All right. So, in summary here, so the dwarves despairing. They've done this before, and they don't see a way to get back out. They want a bit of some air. You want to get out and sniff some air. You want to see have the breeze blowing, but they're stuck on the inside. If you remember, Smaug came in, smashed some stuff up pretty bad.
Yeah. Ruin the door.
Ruin the door. There no magic is going to open that door. Well, if we had a wizard, we might have been able to open it. But
where's he?
Where's he at?
Needed to speak a word of command.
Absolutely.
Guys, where is Gandalf? I'm getting worried.
Where is he?
I'm
Is
getting
he
worried.
back? I don't know.
I'm worried. But Bilbo feels this uplift, this hopefulness. He kind of has that. He says, "Hey, you know what, fellas? It's time to move. Let's go on into Smaug's lair. Let's get in there." So they travel on in. They're cautious. They're looking around, trying to figure out what's going on. Bilbo finally gets him light a bit of a fire. Let's take a gander. He picks up what I really want to talk about today: the Arkenstone.
The Arkenstone.
Let's all say it together: the Arkenstone. Holy smokes! This stone.
I got chills.
That kind of felt like a ritual. The Arkenstone.
You know that. Yeah.
The Arkenstone.
Yeah, as it's being brought forward, that's what they're doing. Right?
That was very. His name is Robert Paulson. For anyone who's
Robert Paulson.
Fight Club.
Yeah, dude. Yes. Okay. Yes.
His name was
Yeah.
Robert.
Yeah. That's
sorry.
100% right.
I'm still trying to figure out who Michael Jackson
Sorry,
is, so I
Yeah.
wouldn't have known.
You wouldn't have known. That is very Fight Club.
Bilbo keeps the Arkenstone. We'll talk about that in a second. Why does he do that? Thorin, interpretations, wordplay, all this good stuff. They're glad to see the treasure fill in their pockets. They got some armor, some mithril. They're kind of passing this around. Some chains.
One chain.
Some
right? Yeah.
Some bling. Blingsmith.
So Thorin guy takes Bilbo. There's a big river. There's a river that runs
river
through.
running.
Yes.
Yep.
And that is going to lead them. They're going to go to the gate. They're going to go up there to the gate. Once they get to the gate, then Bilbo says, "This ain't safe. We need to get back." Well, so we go back. I could be wrong. The summary that I pulled up, because I didn't catch this detail in the book. How many hours? Is there hours? Does it take them hours to get back? Am I wrong about that? We'll look when we get in here.
I know they talked about.
It seemed like a long time.
Balin describes.
He wants to move on to another.
Yeah, of how he describes the route they're going to take.
Yes.
It's a matter of hours. I think he said it was 5 hours march.
5 hours.
Yeah, that's what it was.
Bilbo was a bit discouraged because he still hadn't had breakfast.
Yeah, he was like,
Yes,
I didn't mean dinner. I
It
meant
just seems
breakfast.
More marching.
Yeah.
No breakfast.
This is a huge mountain.
It's a big-
Yeah,
huge.
it is big.
It's a big
It's
mountain.
lonely, but it's huge.
It's a big mountain. Well, I mean, it has to be a big mountain. I mean, it's got the giant dragon living
true.
in it.
Yes. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yep.
And an
And
entire
he just
dwarven.
flies around.
I know.
Yeah, it's a big mountain.
It's insane. So
They do a fantastic job of portraying the Lonely Mountain in the films.
yes.
Like
I
that.
love it.
And
Big enough that he can move
Erebor, like
love it.
It's beautiful.
I know people dog on the Hobbit trilogy.
I would never do. I didn't.
I love it.
I know.
I love it for
I
what
like
it
it too.
is. I know this is off topic, but I love that trilogy as something of its own.
Yes.
Like it follows the story, obviously, and I realize that there are characters that don't
Yeah.
exist in the book,
Yeah.
and I get all that, but I enjoy it for what it is.
Yeah.
And I think that's the view we should all have. Because honestly, too, like the whole miracle of it getting made, not only it getting made before the rights ran out, but also like how it took so long, and then how Peter Jackson had to finish it, even though he didn't want to direct it, never wanted to direct it, always just wanted to be a producer and help write. And the fact that he took it on anyway, and then it almost killed him. He had an ulcer that almost killed him.
Yeah.
I mean, like,
Yeah, he did get sick.
yeah, and people
really sick.
myself, I've even dogged him at times for The Hobbit, and it's wrong. It's wrong. The fact that he, like, what he did was he gave us a gift.
It's fun. It's awesome.
It was incredibly. I know he made a lot of money, but
It once wasn't there, and it is now, and I enjoy
selfless act. I think
Yeah.
selfless act, and he got a lot of crap for it, and yeah, wrongly so.
it. Yeah.
That was a good recap.
Yeah, good recap.
Yeah,
So
for the
let's
summary.
Now let's get into some of these points. Like, we've been doing more just bigger takeaways. So what did you get from it, Curt? What do you have an overarching kind of feel or whatever? It's a little to me. Let me just real quick. I know I just ask you, but like to me, it's like this ominous kind of. Where's the dragon?
Yeah,
He's not home.
This chapter is interesting to me. It's a very important chapter, clearly, because we finally get physically introduced to this Arkenstone.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so that's a big moment. Mm-hmm. And not only that, we see Bilbo actually fulfilling his entire destiny on this whole journey.
Yeah.
So this is an important chapter,
Yeah.
But it's also kind of a sleeper chapter compared to the last chapter. I mean, you think about all the tense moments and the dialogue and how scared you were reading for Bilbo in the last chapter. And we know what's coming up in the next chapter.
Yeah.
Right? The writing's on the wall about what's about to happen.
Yeah.
So it's almost like John's giving us a break here.
Yeah.
Just take a breather. Here's some important information, but I'm going to take it easy on your nerves.
Yes. And it's almost replaced with like a different type of fear, right? That we forget about until someone's like, I feel like one of the dwarves even, it says, it feels like someone's watching me from the top of my head.
Yeah.
And Bilbo talks about feeling unsafe. And especially, I guess, really at the end of last chapter, he said, we need to get inside. Yeah. I don't feel right. So it's like an indirect fear of, where is the dragon? How can we not find this dragon? Like before it was, you could smell him and feel him before he even got all the way down there. Now it's like, where did he go? Where did he go? Yeah. And that unknowing is a different kind of fear especially the genius things he does too is he reunites the dwarves with their true love, right? He brings them back to the riches. And we see for the first time this like dragon sickness kind of deal. And we're so consumed with that and feeling this kind of like weird like excitement for them, but also this you really do. I'm glad that Tolkien wrote in this previous chapter how most dwarves are just kind of like us, right? They're not like these epic heroes, but they're not really terrible creatures. They're just, if you don't expect too much of them, they're great, right? Yeah. And it humanizes them. But you see this in this chapter with this their obsession with this.
Their greed.
Yes, their greed
comes to full light.
Yes. And even
how quickly it takes over them.
How quickly it does. And transforms them. And we start to see it in Thorin too, right? And it's this weird juxtaposition between like Thorin looking regal and royal and Bilbo even's like, wow, this is
very kingly.
Kingly. Versus what's going on internally for them. And like you said, it's hard to separate like what we know happens next, right? It's really hard to go, okay, like what is happening? For me anyway, I have so much trouble going, because this is a chapter that I kind of breezed through. I was like, okay, let's get through it. Lake Town's coming up and all this other stuff and the battle. It's like, but no. Yeah, be present in what's going on right now, because at one point when you read this all the way through, or when people read this for the first time, you don't know what's going to happen in this chapter. You don't know what's coming after, And so it is a weird, different kind of fear, right? It's this obsession with, it's almost like the victory's won, but it's hollow, right? And it's Bilbo who says, guys, there's still a dragon to deal with.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like this ain't won yet. They get
he's
lulled
constantly
into
there reminding them,
you
haven't won.
You're
not done.
The true leader of this quest.
And I'm glad you bring that up, because earlier we were talking about the dual meanings of the name of this chapter, not at home. The obvious being clearly Smaug's gone.
Yep.
He's not home. This is his home. He has claimed it.
Yeah.
Obviously you have Bilbo, who's not home,
at home.
more so than anyone.
You sound like Shippy right now.
And then you've got the dwarves. Now, by all accounts, they're kind of home, but they're not. This is not their home.
Not anymore.
No, it was taken.
Yep.
And they're there and they're feeling good.
Yeah.
They've got gold in their pockets now and they're feeling really good about this, but they're not home.
Nope.
And that's what Bilbo constantly reminds them throughout this chapter. And we'll see is, hey, we're not done. There's still a dragon out there. It's not yours yet.
Yeah. Yeah. And even, oh my gosh, see, that is like so.
I like it.
Even just thinking too, like how different a dwarven home, where they would feel at home, is from where Bilbo feels at home. Right? That longing he's had for being back in the Shire, back in Bag End this whole time, and how different, both underground, right? both small creatures, smaller races of whatever hobbits and dwarves, but so different. One is filled with gold and jewels and is cold and stone. Yeah. The other is comforting and welcoming and yeah.
I wish I lived in a hobbit hole.
Yeah, I know.
Speaking of underground, this is all right. So we've opened the chapter. Thorin spoke. Let us try the door. I must feel the wind on my face soon or die. So they're really in a deep despair here. Thorin says, or no, they groaned. We are trapped, they groaned. This is the end. We shall die here. Does anyone think that's odd for dwarves? I mean, isn't their preferred place?
Should they want to be there?
Right, isn't that that's their jam?
Yes.
Right. I don't know. I mean, they've been down there.
The fresh air thing.
They've been down there for what, 2 days, I think? I think in the end, we ended up finding out it's like 2 nights and a day. I mean, it's kind of a long time. It's been dark. I guess I would probably get claustrophobic and go insane too.
Yeah. So
they never hit a gas line like when they're mining too. Like they never had. So they can't deal with these smells. That's a great point. I thought fresh air. How often? Now maybe. And then I started thinking, well, maybe they've engineered Erebor so that it has some kind of filtration system or ventilation system where
I'm sure it did.
Fresh air comes in and they have the benefit of fresh air, but also being underground. Yeah, and smog is contaminated.
Well, there had to be a ventilation system because if they're constantly running furnaces, the exhaust would get
exactly
out
right. They'd all be out.
And Smaug remembers as he's there. He knows there's something coming. He can smell it, and he always remembers that little spot that wasn't plugged up. That hole where the magic was.
True.
He can feel an air or something come through there. So
that's how the bats get in.
Yeah, that's what there are bats in this.
Sorry,
I know there are.
Just so you know.
I wanted. I didn't do it, but I wanted to take time and go back and count how many times I said bats in here because I think it was like 3 or 4.
I saw them for the first time this season last night, ironically. So real life imitating art again. 3 spots they're coming in and out of.
Just add it to the catalog.
Yeah,
I want to kill them.
So start indexing.
I want to kill them.
Kirby. Okay. The point about the dwarves and despairing. Let me bring up another point here, and this will take us right on. Bilbo, right before he slips on the ring, and he decides to go on ahead, and I
forgot he put the ring on.
Puts the ring on, but basically he slips on the ring and he went ahead. He didn't need to, right? He didn't need to. It was darkness and it was completely dark, and they're all invisible. Anyways, ring or no ring, right? But Bilbo himself. You think about the effects of the treasure. You think about dragon, speech, talk, spells, whatever. It makes me think of like Frodo and Bilbo and the effects that the ring have and how they're lessened, and the despair that like he overcomes even though he's not at home. And he's the one who leads the charge. He says, "Let's go." Let's rally. We're inside. We're actually where you want to be. And he says, I don't know. The desperation was growing, and it's him who kind of leads it.
Yeah, so to put it in my simplistic terms, like he's not at home at being a leader of a company.
Yeah. Wait, you mean Bilbo or Thorin?
Is that different? Is that what you're saying? Like he's not at home in a leadership role.
Well,
and that's where he is now.
And yes, but ironically, he keeps stepping into it.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes.
We saw last chapter, this chapter.
And something he is not a leader at home.
Yes.
Like he's not this kind of warrior at home.
Right.
Man, the play on the play
stay
on
at
that
home kind of guy.
Yeah.
It's him stepping out and taking charge of a situation or doing something brave.
Yeah.
That's not home for him.
Yes.
That's not comfortable.
Yeah.
That's uncomfortable. Which is all throughout this book. That's what this is about. Him leaving the comforts at home.
Yep.
That's a very good point.
Yeah. So I just thought that was kind of interesting. And so he'll drive them, on further. They are in darkness, complete darkness for a while.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Bilbo's thinking, "Come on out, Smaug. Stop this hide and go seek."
Yeah.
Remember we brought up the whole who'd be best at hide and go seek. Looks like Smaug's winning this one right now. Smaug is like, it's not the elves, it's not the hobbits. This is a freaking big old dragon. But he wants a light. And this is where, isn't he willing to? But it takes a second for Orin and Gloin to finally make a light. Don't they make a light here? They're scared. They're afraid.
Yeah, they don't want to
they don't want
to light anything, right? And I thought Feely and Killy came up too. Did they have matches or something, or is it only?
They might have. So let's see here. Bilbo got up and found that
it's Oin and Gloin. You're right.
Yeah, that he did not know in what direction to turn. Now, I wonder what on earth Smaug is playing at. He said he's not at home today or tonight or whatever it is. I do believe if Oin and Gloin had not lost their tinderboxes, perhaps we could make a little light and have a look around before the luck turns. By the way, this is hard. Luck is just all over the place. Yeah, can anybody make a light? Now, let me see here. The dwarves. I'm going to read on for a little bit because there's something interesting about this.
Yeah, they're cowards.
Yeah, they were alarmed when Bilbo fell forward down the steps.
Don't call them a coward, but I'm going to. They're cowards, man.
Well, it's almost as, he doesn't know his. Later on, Thorin will be the one knowing every nook and cranny of this place.
Am I the only one that thought that, though?
Yep.
I just thought it was so cowardly.
Yep.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
But they're using
wild.
Bilbo as it fits them.
Yeah. He's screaming out like he's wanting
fit,
light.
Well, I mean, he explicitly says it right here in the middle of this chapter on page 216. And I think this is probably where you were going.
Yeah.
The paragraph starts, after a while, a twinkling gleam showed, and you run down a little bit, and you get to, Thorin carefully explained, Mr. Baggins was still officially their expert burglar and investigator.
Yeah.
If he liked to risk a little light, that was his affair.
Yes.
I had that.
They would wait in the tunnel for his report. So they said
That's
the door
what it was.
closed. You're exactly right. Because once they get down into the chamber, Thorin takes off. And, this is Thror's Hall.
Yeah.
And he starts talking about the feasts and
where he feels more at home.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yep. Isn't that I just think it's interesting that here we go again with Thorin.
I have a note in my margin that says bad Thorin. Yeah. And the reason I have that is because earlier I have a note that says good Thorin. Yeah. When he says in desperation they agreed and Thorin was the first to go forward by Bilbo's side.
Yeah,
it's a good moment for Thorin.
It is this, and I guess maybe also what it does too is it shows sort of his breakdown, right? As he doesn't necessarily meet like the best end. You know what I mean? He's a broken character. He becomes even more broken. The sickness takes over him, and we know what happens with the Arkenstone and how he gets overcome by that greed, right? And so this is kind of maybe a real obvious way that he's starting to splinter and sort of fracture a little bit, and it's right in our face where we're going, I don't know if I like Thorin anymore.
He's always been kind of haughty,
and that's true. Yeah, he's
very entitled.
Yes, he is.
I don't dislike Thorin. It sounds like I'm ragging on him. I'm not.
But I think that's why he's confusing in the movies too, because Richard Armitage is so likable.
Yeah.
And there are so many moments that they put in there. But I think they do a great job in the films of going back and forth between, I like this guy, I hate this guy. I don't really feel anything about this guy. I hate this guy. I like this guy.
Yeah.
I love this guy. He is so and maybe the reason he's frustrating is he is really human. Yeah. He's a very human character, and you
very
expect
like
a dwarf and a king should know better, right? Yeah, very much like us. And we're the only human character supposed to be this hobbit, right? But we've got this
human.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Sorry, familiar, homely character, right? Someone who we can relate to. But we have this king who
like us.
Yeah,
just like us.
Exactly, just like us.
We have this king who it's like, wow, okay, maybe I'm a lot like Thorin, and I don't like the way Thorin is.
So, here's some irony. Okay, Thorin, who is looking for the Arkenstone, sends forward the burglar who gets the Arkenstone. Had they have lit their own torches, he would have claimed it for himself. But because he doesn't, Bilbo goes forward and you know what I mean? It's like,
imagine if Thorin had gone in and actually found the Arkenstone himself.
But you can see him crossing his arms and kind of saying, "No, if the burglar wants to go do it, by God, go ahead."
Let me ask you,
right out there in front of you.
Would have been a different kind of book, I think.
Yeah, sure. Let me ask you an unanswerable question.
Yes.
Do you think he would have found it because he was looking for it so hard? Do you think that Bilbo found it because he didn't know what he was looking for at all?
Yes. I also gotta to give Thorin some credit
no,
here.
You think you would have found it?
It's standing out pretty.
That Arkenstone was meant to be found.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, let's envision the vastness of this gold hoard that's
there is only one of them
rolling around, and for all this time, it must.
It will reach.
And I think they did a great job at capturing it in the films. That's kind of how I envision it.
Yeah.
And for this thing to be found and all of that, it was meant to be found, whether by Bilbo or someone else.
Somebody else. Okay.
Okay. So,
but certainly, it would not have been as interesting of a story.
How would it have? How would it have even? I don't know.
No, yeah, this is definitely.
Yeah.
This is definitely.
See you, Bilbo. Oh, by the way,
But
good luck getting your treasure home.
You have to say too. So Bilbo has the ring. So to give Thorin a little break here, why does Bilbo have this extra? He's got a magical ring.
Yeah.
And even though took a lot of courage to do that, because he doesn't know it's for, he's still exposed. He still can be smelled. All these different things. He's still vulnerable, but he does have a magical ring.
See, and this is the thing about the ring that is so interesting to me, because, like, how much did Tolkien know? You know what I'm saying? Like, because it's like, well, maybe the ring had some sort of power that drew him to it. Not necessarily, at this point in his mind, in Tolkien's mind, as Sauron, right? Because it almost doesn't make any sense that Sauron would want Bilbo to find the Arkenstone unless he wanted it to further destroy Thorin, and Thorin wind up meeting his demise eventually because of his. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
but it's interesting to think about, like, because Tolkien didn't know yet. He didn't.
Right,
Sauron wasn't necessarily. Like, he was evolving the ring. That's why he went back and rewrote Riddles in the Dark.
Yes.
Right? And so it's interesting to think, like, how, like, it's so, I would love to see what he was thinking as he was writing this. Like, how much of this do I know I'm going to develop about the ring, but I haven't gotten there yet. So I'll make it vague enough. I'll allude to powers.
Yep.
And then maybe later those powers can be pinned to.
Just like Gandalf.
Whatever you want.
Yeah.
Yes.
His travels.
Yeah.
What can he do?
Yes.
What can he do?
Leaving him absent for a while and saying, well, he was actually here doing this, because I figured that out now. You know what I mean? Like, that. That is such a genius and also brave. Talk about, like, stepping out and being bold and having faith as a writer, to not necessarily be precise and to be open about and vague about some things and let readers.
Right.
Yeah. And also, though, being someone who loves stories and trusting the reader and the person who is, like, because I feel like there's some trust there. Like, I know what Gandalf's up to. I can figure that out. There's some kind of give it to us, the
100%,
the reader, kids and such. Let's get into this Arkenstone here. So he does find climbing up on all this gold and stuff. He came near. There's a flickering sparkle of many colors at the surface, reflected and splintered from the waving light of his torch. At last he looked down upon it, and he caught his breath. The great jewel shone before his feet of its own inner light. Hold on a second.
Crazy.
This thing has a light on the inside that's shining out.
Yeah.
What? My big
Inner
question.
light.
Yeah. What is the Arkenstone? I mean, it's the heart of the mountain.
Heart of the mountain.
I mean, what does that mean? Did the mountain grow from the Arkenstone? It's such
Is
a cool.
Is it a Silmaril? Just joking.
Easy, son.
Just kidding.
People,
That's a whole other episode.
Yeah, people will get all over us.
I don't even know what it means. That's the funny thing.
I'm
ignorant.
I think 30 people just turned the show off right now.
Jeez,
I'm out.
I swear to God.
Mission accomplished, baby.
How dare you?
Right. Tune in next week, and maybe I won't bring up something
The
I don't know.
Arkenstone is.
It's awesome.
It's I don't know what it is.
Right, and that's
It's just something incredible.
Incredible.
I guess. I mean, I guess it's where we're resigned to leave this. Is it's just something incredible.
Yeah.
Isn't it kind of cool too how in the films it's played up in the beginning because it's part of the storytelling that we know about the Arkenstone from the very beginning.
Yeah.
But as you would going to recover a treasure and something, especially something specifically so valuable, that it's kept so tight to the chest that we don't even hear about it until the last couple chapters.
Yeah.
And it's just like all of this.
That feels real.
Yeah, it does. It's all of a sudden like, oh, by the way, there's this thing, the Arkenstone. And then before we've even had time to really think about it, boom, there it is.
Yeah.
And we're almost like as surprised as Bilbo.
Yeah.
Right? Like heard mention of it, but then to see it is something different.
Then, ooh,
yeah.
This has been top secret this whole time.
Yes.
Yeah.
And he's enchanted by it as well.
Slowly it grew to a little globe of pallid light. Yeah, he is enchanted by itself. On down. Suddenly Bilbo's arm. I love this. Suddenly Bilbo's arm went towards it, drawn by its enchantment. His small hand would not close about it, for it was a large and heavy gem. But he lifted it, shut his eyes, and he pocketed it. Now hold on a minute.
Let's go.
Hold on.
He said, "That's mine."
Stop the press. Hold on. All right. Bilbo is drawn by its enchantment.
Sounds like something else.
Kind of like another
Sounds like something
object
else. All right.
within this universe that we're
Lead
all
on.
familiar with. and just like that, it not like dragon greed, but I think it's something else.
Yeah.
It has an effect on Bilbo's behavior right away.
Yeah.
He does something very un-Bilbo like. Yeah. He just puts it in his pocket. He's like, and he knows it. He even says it.
He tries to justify it as it being part of his.
I suppose I must tell the dwarves about it sometime.
Yeah.
They did say I could pick and choose my own share.
Yep.
And I think I would choose this if they took all the rest. Now, come on.
Yep.
Yeah, and he says that he thought maybe even that some trouble would yet come from it.
Yeah, you think?
Yeah.
Yeah. So what is? I mean, so back to the question: what is the Arkenstone? It's not a ring. We don't think it has its own will like we think the ring does.
There is a power to it,
but
though,
there's
right?
something about it.
Yeah.
It's almost like
it's very alluring.
Yes, and it's almost like it unlocks a dark power within us. Maybe. You know what I'm saying? Like maybe it taps into something.
Does it unlock your greed?
There you go.
Because the entire dwarven community, if I can, revered this thing, and they all clearly have an issue with money, with greed.
Yeah.
And as soon as Bilbo wraps his hand around his thing, he's like, "Well, it's mine."
Yeah. Like the silver bullet of greed.
Yeah.
I think
it works on anybody.
Yeah, but do you think I go back to the magic of hobbits? Would it affected the dwarves more? Would it? Does it have a
100%.
greater effect?
It clearly does.
I think they're more susceptible to it than maybe your hobbit.
They would have held it aloft and started worshiping it instead of just going, "Oh, I'm just going."
Yeah.
They would have pulled it like,
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I mean, even in this display of abnormal behavior from Bilbo, it's not as extreme as what you would expect from the dwarves. You're absolutely right. Just plain Hobbit sense, keeps him grounded.
Plain Hobbit sense, yes. Oh yeah, I've wondered, and I know this. You know how I got chewed out for our first couple episodes on the whole as Tom Bombadil, get your craziness out of here.
You converted me, man.
No, but I have wondered if, and not that Tolkien, he calls it the heart of the mountain.
Was this Tom's nut? Is that
what? As if, no, as if it was something that helped the mountain grow. That it's hearkening back to creation of some kind?
No,
or
hearkening.
Hearkening back? Yeah, I don't know. It's
was
something.
It there
it's
at the beginning of time? Was it placed by the,
Yeah. How close can you get back to the beginning? How close can you get back to the very beginning of Iluvatar singing things into being? Or some of these things that were envisioned, that were thought about. Now I'm not a Silmarillion expert or any of that kind of stuff, but it does just make you think. This thing is something that you don't see anywhere else. And it's just like, they found it.
Could it be from the beginning?
From the beginning, like did the mountain grow? Did they get down as far to like, oh shoot, like we bored into the beginning of this mountain. This thing grew. This thing is what was
the mountain seed.
It's a lonely mountain too.
Seed.
It's not a mountain range. It's a lonely mountain, and there is a mountain seed. Yeah, sure. I mean, that to me, I just think makes it like extra kind of special. I love talking about the Arkanstone.
I love it. Could the Arkenstone have been around from the beginning?
Yeah.
Of the universe.
Could we? Oh God, yeah. Think about that.
Could it have been sang into existence?
Could there be some legend about it in the Second Age that they go, we don't know, it was lost. It was maybe the Lonely Mountain doesn't exist at some point, and it grows up out of it. I don't know. I'm just going crazy, but I like it. I wouldn't mind having one myself.
Gotta get you. Well, there's only one of them.
Dang it.
That we know of.
True. What if there was like a whole mountain full of them?
What if there's one in the Misty Mountains and we just haven't found it?
Yeah, right.
They never get to maybe they never bored in that far.
Can we contract out a few companies of dwarves to just start digging in the Misty Mountains so we can find this thing?
They're like Skittles. They're just everywhere.
Can we make it like? What if the three of us actually designed an Arkenstone drilling company and we went to the Appalachian
Mountains? That would be a
great
boring company name. Arkenstone boring,
right?
Arkenstone drilling.
Yeah,
someone's got to do that. Come on,
I like it.
Yeah. So.
Yeah.
All right. Let me a couple more things here. There's not much. We're gonna again big points here. I'm not gonna try to bog us down. But Bilbo, to me, I think he does think about what Smaug said. I think he does think part of the Ark. It is definitely the draw of the Arkenstone. But I think he says, you know what? Maybe Smaug was right. Let me put this in my pocket because I'm not so sure how this treasure is being divided up. Let me put that in my pocket.
I think that's the power of dragon speech.
Yeah, he's with multiple magics working on him.
Don't you think? And maybe this is coming to me right now too. Right, the dwarves are kind of hot and cold. Like he's feeling loved one minute, he's feeling sort of neglected the next.
Yeah.
It's a bargaining chip too. I think he also puts it in there because he's like, you know what? They're assholes. Bleep,
Yeah.
bleep.
Yeah.
Hey guys, you want this? Now that'd be kind of bold. That'd be like, which is kind of sort of what he ends up doing in a way, right? To try and to, but it's almost. I wonder if he thought it might cause trouble, but maybe it's trouble that I need to cause. You'd have to feel good finding something like that, right? But then you'd also be filled with this fear of what if they discover
What if
I
they
have
find it on me? That wouldn't be good.
or even like if it has that sort of effect on people, if they felt like I had it, I would think they would just increase, like the ring. It would increase your paranoia of maybe they can sense that I've got this here.
Yeah.
You know, because I sensed it. I don't know.
Yeah.
Or at least felt it, was drawn to it, the allure of it.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
Wouldn't you worry about your pocket shining too? Like, thank God he had a deep pocket.
Yeah.
Right?
And it must have really thick fabric.
Thick.
It must be made out of whatever this is you're wearing.
Tech fleece.
Yeah, tech fleece.
Harrelson Hugh would have
he's made out
totally
of
designed
tech
it.
fleece. Because if it has
I do feel
its own
like
inner
Bilbo.
light, it should be shining through.
Right through.
Because, you know, if you have like a flashlight on your pocket, you can see.
He's probably wearing a Lake Town garment, which is real thick.
Probably like that. Yeah.
Probably.
Actually, earlier when you brought up that you were a lifeguard, I was like, for Lake Town?
I thought about it too. I was like,
Oh, you did? I never thought about
like
that.
fire drills.
I was like,
that
I
he's
never
just
thought
running
about
for the Lake Town people.
Yeah.
Get the water.
We should make a shirt for Kurt that's like, you know,
Lake Town lifeguard.
Lake Town lifeguard.
Yes.
Do it.
That'd be sick, right?
I'm
Let's
going to
make
need that in my
put it in the
mailbox
store.
soon.
I love that
Yes, I
Lake
need that
Town
soon.
lifeguard.
Oh, you're good.
Oh, God. Okay, to drive us on here. So where's Smaug? We're not sure. Bilbo goes on. It's a lot of like light, right? The issue with light. He loses his courage for a bit. You probably saw the reference to the bat there. The swoop that comes down.
Oh, we saw it.
What's he say?
Yeah,
Bat.
me too.
Yeah. Not even sure. He hoped it's just a bat.
Yeah.
We see more
Only a
bats
bat,
later.
I suppose. And
Right.
hope.
Right. He's yelling
Come live
back.
here, bro.
Like, guys, he's so far away from the dwarves that they can make out is help. They think he's saying help, but like Bilbo's crying out for like the light's gone out, you know?
Yeah.
Can someone come and find me and help me? And all they heard was help.
Yeah.
So, and they're wondering what's going on. Certainly not the dragon. Like, what's
wouldn't be squawking
he
like
would
that.
not go on. Yes, yeah, exactly. So they do send. They do go in and try to find him. And again, I bring it up like, yeah, you guys missed out on a pretty big find. You know, like, keep the faith here. You should have moved in with your burglar.
We get
Let's
to see.
see.
We
Yeah.
get to see good old Balin here.
He's always coming through, isn't he?
He's
He's clutch.
He's the moral compass of the company.
Yes.
Yeah, it's about
The
our turn
redeeming
to help.
aspect.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's about our turn to help, and I'm quite willing to go. Oh, Balin.
And he did this before too. He was the one who would go in with Bilbo. You know.
Yeah.
I don't know who played him in the movies, but I think he nailed it.
Oh yeah.
What is his
I
name?
can't think of it.
Yeah, he was great. Great.
I could look it up by the internet. You guys keep talking.
Yeah, we will.
I want to say Ken Stott.
Ooh, I think you're right.
Wow.
Oh, you know, right before this, we glossed right over it, and we talked about it earlier offline. We were talking about Bilbo's courage. You mentioned his courage earlier, and here, like a couple pages later, just like that, he's lost all courage.
It's failed.
Yep. His courage had failed altogether.
So and I think I also kind of like noticed that they're both flip flopping. Like Thorin's going back and forth.
Because
Bilbo's going back.
Thorin
and
was
forth.
all brave in the beginning, and then he was cowering.
Yeah.
In the beginning, Bilbo was like, I have this lightning of the heart. You know,
Yeah.
where there's life, there's hope, and let's
Yes.
go. And
Yeah.
third time pays for all.
That's
and now
right.
he's,
Yeah, Dad says, yeah.
It's a lot of back and forth.
And almost like what's causing that to happen?
There's powers. There are spells.
There's a
things
lot
going on.
of there's a lot of
Enchantment and
contrast,
stuff.
a lot of dichotomy going on here. Hunger?
Oh, hey, yeah.
You know what? It's been a while since we've had vittles. You're absolutely right. we're sleep deprived.
Yes.
Yeah.
Getting a little loopy.
You know, I
Who
don't
knows
know-
what kind of fumes they're
You know
breathing
what?
too.
I spend so much time wrapped up in the deep emotional meaning and the mythology that's going on that I don't really stop to think about practical things like that.
Yeah.
Are you calling me simple?
How dare.
I take it as a
You
compliment.
think that
Plain
he thought
Hobbit
that.
sense.
Can we tell people what we
It's that
did
plain
today?
Hobbit sense.
We ate for Bilbo.
Oh, yeah.
We did eat for Bilbo.
That's something we didn't bring up earlier. When we were pounding
A lot.
wings, I said, guys, I feel kind of bad that Bilbo can't even get breakfast.
I had
And
a third plate for
and we're
Bilbo.
eating plates of
Had
wings.
3 plates.
We had a feast in there.
We had a feast.
And then
Yeah.
we shared an apple pie.
Oh, God, yeah. Kicked me
Dude,
right out of
Oh
ketosis.
my gosh, and it was worth it, wasn't it?
It was so worth it.
I got to give a shout out to Iron Fruit Farms in Lebanon, Ohio.
There it is, baby.
I don't know the lady's name that sold me that pie, but God bless her.
And she
Yeah.
might be a hobbit, right?
Maybe.
Oh,
Can I say that?
I mean, based on the way that pie tasted,
Yeah.
she's Hobbit-ish.
Yeah.
No, we got to check out her feet.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Gotta go see her feet.
I'll go back next Thursday and see if I can get another one.
Could you just
I'll
ask her
ask
to
to see her feet.
Can you take your shoes off? She'll think you have a foot fetish or something. Be like, what is
What
wrong?
the heck?
All right.
Is that his
All
secret
right.
treasure?
We went down a rabbit hole.
Here we go.
All right. Get us back on track.
Down
here.
a hobbit hole.
Yes. Bilbo's wondering. So, Balin catches up. He's regaining some of his senses. Now, here we go. The mere fleeting glimpses of treasure which they had caught as they went along had rekindled all of the fire that of their dwarvish hearts. So, like, just seeing this treasure, whatever the fire is, it's rekindled. Whether it's a good thing or a bad thing, they are lit. All right.
They are lit.
They're wakened by gold and jewels. They become suddenly bold, and he may become fierce. So
similar to dragons too, as well, right?
Yeah.
Interesting, isn't it?
It's that greed wakes up and they lose all common sense.
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, even the most respectable, right? Like, this is what's going to happen. Even the best of them, Balin, right up there with the best of them, right?
He's balling.
He's balling.
Balling now.
But he's now bold, fierce. There's a fire about him. So, they didn't need any more urging. So the dwarves are saying, "Hey, this is freaking treasure.
Let's go.
Stuff your pockets, gentlemen.
Get you a little bit. And this is what we've been looking for, fellers. Dig in."
Yep.
I think there's just there's this overhang of magic. The dragon. By the way, where does it say? Also and also untouched by the dragon, who had small interest in music. There was the harps. Okay, because I was trying to say, a lot of the treasure has been touched by the dragon and moved around, and they're trying to find different things, right? But they do find these harps, which I thought was cool, that it was untouched by the dragon. Here's my connection to Iluvatar and music and the world coming into being, and that is a creature, like Smaug, not want anything to do with music.
And it's so interesting too that it's only
I don't know if that's meant to be or what that might be, but
it's only the young dwarfs that are drawn to the music too.
Oh, okay, yeah,
It's Feely and Keely who go to that harp, and the others are more practical.
Yeah.
He said they were almost in merry mood.
Yeah.
It's like maybe in their younger age, they're not as afflicted by this.
Sure.
I don't want to call it a curse on dwarves, but I'm a hobbit, so we will. Yeah. Like this affliction that they have, this obsession with gold and treasure.
Yeah.
And they're in there, and they're not as. I won't say they're not as drawn in, but they don't seem to be as harshly affected by the vastness of this treasure like the rest do. Maybe because they're not as old,
consumed or something.
Yeah, there you
like
go.
Maybe,
they're not as overwhelmed by it.
Yeah. So interestingly, this mithril that Bilbo gets, it's worth a lot. And hold on, Bilbo's got to think about, I got an Arkenstone in my pocket and you're giving me a mithril coat.
Got an Arkenstone in my pocket and you're slipping on a mithril coat.
Okay.
I did think it was interesting too how we went from they secured the riches, right?
Yeah.
And then immediately after that they picked up arms.
Yeah.
So it's like we get our riches and then we get our means by which to defend it.
Yeah.
Isn't that interesting?
Oh,
it was like I think he even said immediately. No, he just talks about them
they just do a light helmet.
And now the dwarves took down mail and weapons, so it was like immediately after, right? They get their stuff, and then they get geared up,
and they're even putting some on Bilbo and saying, check out what this is."
Yes,
I just thought it's cool.
The mithril coat's awesome, dude.
Yeah, it's a big piece of the treasure. Bilbo feels cool, magnificent, it's awesome, but it's not him.
What was that word you just said?
Yeah.
Magnificent.
Yeah,
what do you got on it?
Yet again.
Let's go.
Smog the Magnificent.
It's classic Tolkien wordplay, right? I mean, we just saw in the previous chapter, when Bilbo was bantering back and forth with Smaug. He says, "What magnificence to possess a waistcoat of fine diamonds,"
which he now has.
And exactly. And so now here's Bilbo feeling pretty magnificent himself.
Yep.
All dressed up in mithril and gems,
looking like a dragon.
Yeah.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
Wow.
It can't be
crazy
it can't be a coincidence that he used that same word
No.
in back-to-back chapters referring to something so similar about these two characters.
Way too smart for that.
Interesting.
Love Tolkien. He's
Yeah.
He's amazing.
So
the
good.
layers he leaves there.
Just nuggets. I mean, it doesn't mean anything for the story, but it's interesting to me. You know, I noticed that word. It stood out to me from the previous chapter, and I just thought that was really cool.
Well, and even I mean, like Shippy wrote about. We read those couple of pages from that portion in Author of the Century where he talks about that battle between Bilbo and Smaug and how it was like an aristocrat with sort of a more bourgeoisie, and how they, Smaug was trying to use his affluence and his he was speaking down to Bilbo,
down talking
essentially.
to Bilbo.
Right. And how it's like but how they were similar, and how Smaug would come down to Bilbo's level when it suited him and stuff. And so how, despite these creatures being so different, right, there was still a similarity there. They still had a dialogue. They still there was wit between them. And then how, Bilbo physically is sort of, putting on like this armor, this coat, this belt, which he had just admired on the dragon himself. That's crazy. That is crazy.
Yeah.
Just all these little, like you said, like nuggets, these little almost like sub tweets that you can follow down and go, but and there's this little subplot, and there's this motif and this theme again and again, and it's just cool to like be able to like. I wonder if he realized like how much conversation his writing would promote.
No way.
It's like, did you catch that?
No way.
There's no way.
This is his mind on paper, ink, and I mean, it's just inked out here.
Inked out mind.
So it's really cool. So Bilbo does not have the treasure, not the same effect. He would give up some of these goblets for just something from Beorn's, I don't know, just something to drink or whatever.
I love that.
That's he would give that up.
That's that plain Hobbit sense.
Yes.
The dwarves are completely overcome with greed, but Bilbo. I mean, just in that moment when he was talking about feeling magnificent, he immediately followed it up with, "Well, but I look pretty absurd." Imagine what they'd say back on the hill. Yeah. Give me a good many of these precious goblets for a drink of something cheering out of one of Beorn's wooden bowls. It's like Bilbo here is proving that plain Hobbit sense of being able to ward off the effects of the horde, the bewitchment of the horde, just like Frodo does with the ring. I mean, Frodo's very resistant to the ring. I mean, it's very harsh on him, but his plain Hobbit sense, keeps him a little bit more resilient to it than most of us would be.
Yep. You got something there? Or you want to keep going here? I got it.
Oh no, I want to see what illustrations are in.
Oh, cool.
Here
While you're looking that up, I just want to throw out, if anybody is a fan of the early 90s Swedish metal band Bewitchment of the Horde, like I am. I know that's in here somewhere.
Yeah, I was just there.
We were right on top of it. All the same, Mr. Baggins kept his head more clear of the Bewitchment of the Horde. I immediately thought, there's got to be a metal band somewhere called Bewitchment of the Horde.
If we were still...
Is there?
No, there's not, but there's some good ones out there.
That's a good one.
I Googled early 90s Swedish metal bands and came up with a few. Tell me if you've heard of these cats. In Flames.
Wow.
Seemed appropriate.
That does seem...
At the Gates.
What?
Also seemed appropriate.
Name game?
Dark Funeral. Dark
foreshadowing.
Tranquility.
Whoa.
Apparently these are some of the top cats in the game, and I don't know.
That's fitting.
Leave it to the Swedes. Leave it to the Swedes, man.
Oh my gosh.
No, there's a metal band out there called Gorgoroth too.
Is it really?
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's really awesome.
I don't know any of their songs.
All of those names.
I'm sure
Can you
it's
imagine
intense.
when they're flying somewhere, they literally are the planes of Gorgoroth.
Yeah, they are.
The
Multiple.
Well, yeah.
Or it's just the plane.
They don't
of
fly
Gorgoroth.
together.
They fly separate, so they're planes of Gorgoroth.
God.
Where are we going with this?
I don't know. I'll say
sorry.
that what Bilbo
It's
has
the dragon
said here.
sickness. It's the ritual.
We
We're getting
have
dragon
tempted
sickness.
luck too long.
Yeah.
Yep.
With all the namings of
There's-
bands,
yep, there
we've
it is.
tempted it too long. It's time to move on.
Yeah.
Okay. Thorin says, you speak truth. This is where he says, not in 1,000 years should I forget the ways of this place. Right? Like this is his home.
I know.
Like truly, he's the one who would know. He can guide you in and out
So,
here.
and I was kind of a
Follow
jerk
me.
here. I wrote here.
You're a jerk.
But you couldn't get in. Right. And I know he didn't know about the way, but it's like, it's interesting how it's so convenient when you know something like the back of your hand that I could never forget this. Yeah. Whatever. Yeah. I do like the imagery again. Like last chapter, there was so much just the way he wrote it. Boom, in your head. Here it is. The next couple paragraphs, this paragraph to me just stood out. It's beautifully written. Their glittering mail they had covered again with their old cloaks and their bright helms, with their tattered hoods. And one by one they walked behind Thorin, a line of little lights in the darkness that halted often, listened in fear once more for any rumor of the dragons coming. Mm-hmm. Just that idea that they're decked out, but they do also have this realization that the journey's not done. You know what I mean? That they've got to continue on. So they put these old. I love any coat imagery too, like an old reliable coat, man. Yeah. You and I have talked about this for hours, right? How they don't get rid of these things.
No.
They put them back on. Mm-hmm. These hoods that once hung in Bilbo's home. Mm-hmm. And now they're tattered and worn, and they've been through everything with them.
Yeah.
They've seen spiders, they've seen elves, they've seen being locked up, they've seen, barrel riding. They've further back, they've survived, being eaten by trolls, right? These have been with them through this whole thing. And just the fact they continue on with that. I don't know. I love that. It's beautiful.
One more, as you're on that, like the Tolkien appreciation here, and I'll get you guys in this chapter. So they're taking Thorin's moving them through, and there's a lot of this description of where he takes them. And I just want to point out one thing here, and some really good personification. So they climbed long stairs, they turned and they went down wide echoing ways and turned again and climbed yet more stairs and more stairs. These were smooth, cut out of the living rock. Mm-hmm. And I go back to Arkenstone, heart of the mountain, alive. And then you can see his mind. Actually, you can actually see Tolkien's mind in this very sentence here. And they met no sign of any living thing. Yet the mountain is alive. I'm just throwing this out for you guys, right? Only furtive shadows that fled from the approach of their torches fluttering. So there's just a lot of you're bringing the mountain to life, yet kind of, saying there is no living thing here too. It's just crazy. And they have the Arkenstone. It's just,
I like how he's kind of doing for dwarves what trees do for elves.
I was going to say that when he describes all of the life that we see in nature.
I think we talked about this before too, because we think of mountains as being dead, right? Mm-hmm. They're just rock, right? It's not alive. It doesn't change. And how he's bringing this magic and this recognition of growth and change that mountains go through, having a heart. Mm-hmm. It's wild.
Yeah. It's wild. I think it's really.
And again, just that they're sort of. I love how he every once in a while weaves in these similarities between elves and dwarves. Mm-hmm. And how maybe he didn't intend it, but it's building towards that unification of Legolas and Gimli, of these two races that hate each other and have this beef with each other coming together and sailing
different.
Off. Yeah, different but same.
They're different,
and there's a lesson there. There's a lesson there for all of us, right? That we have similar. We're very different, obviously, but we all have things that are so similar, common. So human. Yeah.
Yep. All right. Let's get to Thror's chamber.
It's a hard name to say.
Thror.
I love this description of this Thror's chamber.
Yeah, go for it. Yeah, read some of it. We got.
We're just keep going right where you left off. Mm-hmm. The steps were not made all the same for hobbit legs, and Bilbo was just feeling that he could go on no longer when suddenly the roof sprang high and far beyond the reach of their torchlight. A white glimmer could be seen coming through some opening far above, and the air smelt sweeter. Before them, light came dimly through great doors that hung twisted on their hinges and half burnt. Does that sound like any other chamber you've seen or heard description of?
Oh yeah,
Mars Arbol.
Yeah,
Chamber of Records.
Yes,
that light shining down on Balin's tomb.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Think about that.
Wow. And also, just this is just hitting me. When they come into Moria, it's in ruin.
Actually,
it's been ravaged,
just like it is here.
Like it is here.
And the air. I'm not even kidding you. I'm pretty sure the air in that.
From the Balrog. Yeah.
But there was also there was some allusion to the shaft of a shaft.
Yeah, the light. Shaft of light.
Yeah, you're exactly right.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. The way this is describing, a glimmer could be seen coming through some opening far above.
Yep. Wow.
Talk about a cool
That's
connection.
exactly what we see in the Mazar Bull. Like, I had to go look up. I was like, that sounds oddly familiar. So I went and looked up a picture of it. And sure enough.
It's exactly.
And then when I looked at the picture, I realized who was in the tomb.
Yep.
Oh my gosh.
And I was like, oh, well, that's Balin. Oh, that's crazy.
Yep, and here he is.
He's literally seeing his
going into Thor's.
What his tomb will look like someday.
Yeah.
That is meta, bro.
Yeah, it's kind of neat.
Oh. Yeah, earlier when you read those names of those bands, I was thinking of just about Thorn, but you just, foreshadowing for Balin too. And what was one of them, was a black funeral or something like that?
Oh, yeah.
Dark funeral.
Dark funeral.
Yeah. I know, it was nuts.
I was like, oh, well.
Yeah. I couldn't help but hear Gandalf. The air doesn't smell so foul.
Yeah.
When it's the air smells sweeter.
In doubt, always follow your nose.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
All right.
Wow.
Sorry, sidetrack.
No, good.
Good. Cool connection. Deep connection.
Yeah.
Cool connection. We haven't done that in forever.
Just don't delve too greedily.
Yeah, that's true.
Or too deep.
Then
I'll break. My mind will break.
Guys,
I'll be bad.
All this great stuff with Tolkien. He's so great. He's all these different wordplay. The running river.
Mm-hmm.
I know, right? Like he phoned that one in. What's the river do? It runs. I'm tired. Kids are keeping me up.
People are gonna hate me for that. I'm totally just kidding. But
I mean, is Jaron Tolkien really that good? I don't know.
Really? He named it the running river.
Come on.
Oh, sorry. I'm just kidding.
I mean, Bilbo lives under the hill.
That's true. Right. Yeah.
Next to the water.
There's
on this side of the water.
Hey, that is the beauty of it. There's some simple, like the economy of words. Yeah, and then just you know. So
and almost like I almost think when he does that too, it's sort of like it's such an old place that it's simple. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's before they're like, what do we call this? I don't know. Freaking
not gonna get fancy about it.
Yeah, it's like no, it's just it's the river running like it is.
Yeah.
Running river.
You know? Yeah.
Yeah. So really in here, and all I wanted to kind of point out on this is they follow this river, and it's leading them to the gate. Right. And if you think about it, I actually kind of forgot this, but like there's this river leads out into a lake and so on. And all this water is there's like a waterfall at the front of the front gate. And so that is where we're going. There's literally is like 3 or 4 or 5 bat references here too. A whirl of bats.
Yeah. I saw that.
Frightened from slumber. They kind of stir them up.
Can you imagine if one came out right now?
Good God.
Thank God they don't get in the house anymore. I put an end to that.
Yeah.
It did have to work. I felt like Smog plugging holes. Years ago, I had to figure that one out, and it was, I feel better about it.
So there's that water falling, right, noisily outward, and it foamed down towards the valley. So they're there at the front gate, and Bilbo didn't expect to be here on this side, looking out at the front gate. Remember they did their scout?
True.
When they did their scouting, and they kind of looked, and they were like, "Oh shoot, there's a freaking dragon in there."
Oh yeah, from a distance.
From a distance.
Way out. Yeah.
And you could see the smoke was coming out and all that stuff.
Yeah.
So now he's standing here saying, "I'm looking out," and it's
a crazy. Yeah, that would be bizarre.
Yeah, but I thought it was the wind is cold.
Yeah,
you're almost like there's a little complaint about this wind, as if like
it's shocking. Because it's late in the year. It's like, winter time.
We wanted
November,
this.
I think.
This is what we wanted, but... So just like the gold that you want and the treasure that you want, it stings you a little bit, just like the wind.
You brought up river running, right?
Yeah.
I think I found, or we've read, the shortest sentence Tolkien ever wrote.
Okay.
It's right on this page.
Yeah, it is.
Well, let's see it.
It was. It's 2 words. I bet that is the shortest sentence Tolkien has ever written.
Where is that at?
And I never expected to be so pleased to see the sun again and to feel the wind on my face, but ow, this wind is cold. It was.
If anyone out there knows of a one-word sentence, please let us know.
What the heck, man? I didn't even. That's
because there probably isn't one.
Tolkien, what are you doing here?
He just always throwing us for a loop. He's imitating the chapter. It's like, am I wordy? Am I not? Am I a genius? Yes, I am.
Yeah.
Also, it was made me think of the sketch where, Peter Jackson is being pitched by Vince Vaughn and Ben Stiller to make a quadruplogy, and they say, the ring was destroyed, but what if it wasn't? It was.
It was.
But what if it was?
Yeah.
You ever notice this cold breeze comes from the east?
Dude, we were talking about in Lord of the Rings, at the end of Lord of the Rings, we talked about the directions of the wind, and especially towards the end. Remember, in the shifting of winds,
Yeah.
and
the evil was coming from the east.
Yes,
yeah. I mean, Everything about the East is bad.
Well, and the old, and yes, and actually there's the old, I learned about this from Sherlock because I'm not British. It might not be mythology. It might just be for Sherlock, but the East Wind that comes and snatches people up and takes them away. I think it's built in mythology. If you're British and you know exactly what I'm talking about and you heard it as a kid,
that seems
as
right.
fairy tales, please let me know, or I could just look it up on the internet. But the Great East Wind.
I got you.
I think that's only Sherlock. But anyway, yes. And then we even talked about, dude, like, isn't it Monway who's in charge of the winds and the skies and all that stuff? And interesting. Yes, the cold east wind. Is that a thing, Curt, or is that not?
It
might be a Sherlock.
Is that just your stomach grumbling like Bilbo's here in this?
Probably.
In this
no, if it's grumbling, it's processing what I just ate.
Lane's like,
the feast I had.
The plumbing is literally
it's in jeopardy.
It's in jeopardy up in this house.
It's not going to be good.
Well, Kurt's looking that up, so I just want to drive us on a little bit further. So, Bilbo says,
"Hey, Balin,
we got to." Well, and it's Balin who, I mean, like, this is a good idea. Bilbo's right. We got to get out of here. Let's head on back. Let's get this 5-hour march underway.
5-hour energy.
So Elaine and I feel like sometimes our podcasts are 5 hours.
I can't believe how early it is right now. It's 10:20.
It's early, yes, but
I know we got to get Curt home.
Yes,
Let's keep going.
We got. He's not at home right now.
He's not at home.
We got to get him. Yeah.
So
put in the dock.
The East Wind.
Is it a thing?
All right. So the East Wind is a thing. There's a spirituality behind the East Wind. The wind, and especially the East Wind, signifies nothing else than the dispersion of falsities and evils.
There you go.
Or what is the same, of evil spirits, and afterwards a disposal into order may be seen from the word that comes from Isaiah.
Okay, this is biblical.
Yeah.
Okay.
There are definite spiritual and biblical ties to the talk and idea behind an east wind or an evil east wind, or that
so interesting
falsities and evils come from the east wind. I don't know why.
Yeah, I'd like to know the origins there.
Yeah,
I wonder if the prevailing winds in the Middle East are from the west, maybe. So an east wind would be strange and different, and not to be trusted.
Oh, that's true.
Maybe. I don't know. I don't know if, you know what I mean.
Oh, that's true. I mean, everything that comes from the west in this universe is good.
Yeah, right?
You know?
Yeah, that's true.
Really
Men of the
is.
West, the Numenors, the Numenorians, the...
Valinor was in the
Valinor,
west.
Right.
I mean,
right.
So,
yeah.
It's just, it's just classic Tolkien. I mean, he's always contrasting. You know, he always shows a dichotomy. Yeah.
And he hardly do anything without some deeper meaning too.
I don't think so.
You know what I mean? Just like, it's not just going to be any wind. It's going to be an east wind. It's going to be cold.
Yeah.
It's not just any river. It's a running river.
It's a running river. Or a river running.
Yeah.
Turn on its head. I know.
Yeah. Hold on. Easy, Chief.
Yeah,
is it deep? I don't know.
Is the river deep? Do we know?
I don't
know. It's just running.
Where are we in this book?
It's running.
We're done. I think we just finished.
The
entire book, right?
Two more points. Two more points.
Well, I'm on the page that says also published by.
Also finished. Yeah. Last
Swedish.
couple points.
Too far, Swedish. Too
Good
far.
God. Do people know what I'm dealing with here on this show?
You just call me God, bro.
Good.
That's an east wind right there.
Elevator, save us.
Lord bless us.
Save us from our 5-hour march back.
I can't believe you brought your skillet, by the way. So Samwise.
So ridiculous. I did make that. I want you guys to know I made that food in my cast iron skillet.
I thought you were going to say in your car, and I was like, no joke.
Wow. All right. As Bomber said, though, right? And this I wish Bomber could have been here. We had good food.
Has Bomber ever spoke before this?
I don't know.
Do you think Bomber still has that nasty Mirkwood river water in his ear, and it's just making him strange?
Do you think
I have
Bomber
a
doesn't
theory.
even know where he's at?
I think he's still in the dream. What if this was all Bomber's dream?
This is Bomber's dream moving forward.
Inception.
So
that's
ridiculous.
Too far.
All that you get at the end of this is Thorin talking about, don't, call my place a nasty hole, right?
Yes.
Just wait till it's all clean and redecorate. It's going to look great up in here.
Yes.
And Bill was like, we still got to kill Smaug. I mean, this is crazy. Then they all start kind of thinking, oh, hold on. Bilbo's right.
He's right.
There be a dragon nearby.
Yeah.
And he suggests maybe he's up on top of this mountain right now.
Mm-hmm.
And some of them are saying, I can kind of feel his eyes on us. Mm-hmm. Right? He's neat. I mean, all right. Yeah. So they decide to go follow Balin's path. Let's head back. get into some cover here. This last little bit, so this is just all kind of them taking.
They get to the refuge, right? And they're
because they do find it's almost like
cram.
it's like a outlook, right?
Yeah.
That is a place where they can, wait or watch or kind of do their thing while they're waiting to see if Smaug comes back. Really, right?
Only a wall on one side. The other three sides are kind of open.
Yeah, which to me suggests is like the mountain right here. And it's just like a flat area off the mountain. I guess these would be the three sides that don't have walls.
Yeah.
Apparently, it was a huge place. It was a guard room that could fit 100 or more.
Yeah.
That's big.
Yeah. Doesn't it say something? I can't remember exactly, but like in the days of Smaug, like animals wouldn't even go up there or something like that. It had been deserted for a long time. Yeah, it was quite deserted. Not even wild animals seem to have used it in all the days of Smaug's dominion. So the idea that it's still not a safe place,
Right.
especially if Smaug's still around, it's especially, and you're thinking like, wow, it's kind of exposed, open on three sides. But they're, I don't know, they're at least feeling somewhat safer or bolder, or maybe the gold did it. All the riches made them a little more, like you said, a little more bold. Yeah.
Well, they all wearing all that fancy armor. Don't forget that.
That's true.
That's going to make you feel good.
Bust that cloak off and
Yeah.
But
got
honestly,
scales,
it
too.
didn't do them any good before, so I don't know why they think it would do to make a difference now.
Yeah.
they're such.
Yeah.
They're fine. They're fine.
They're fine. They're fine.
They're fine.
I love Balin showing some wisdom here.
Yes.
But there seems small need for watching in the days of our prosperity. And the guards were made over-comfortable, perhaps. Otherwise, we might have had longer warning of the coming of the dragon, and things might have been different.
Yeah. A lesson that Gondor learned as well,
Wow.
right? Gondor, they let the watchtowers.
They did let their guard down.
They did.
Yeah.
And I think, the lesson there is that that's what all societies do, right? All people do. We get some victory. We're feeling pretty good about ourselves, and our hubris takes over, where humility should persist. And we open ourselves up. Like that is the overarching theme, I think, for me that I get from Tolkien is nurture humility, stay away from hubris, because it always leads to a downfall. It always leads to inflated feelings about yourself, about others, a disconnection from reality. Whereas humility, just even the very nature of what hobbits are, they're off lists. No one knows they exist. They're by every definition, they're the underdog. They're humble. They're forgotten by the great powers, and they're the ones who defeat the greatest evil. And it's just this constant thing of like, don't let your guard down. I wonder if that was almost like a bit of his faith creeping in, maybe a little bit. Maybe it was a societal commentary on like how this happens. It happened in this, in the history of Middle Earth, which would become our Earth, right? And so it continues to this day because it's just something that mankind and dwarven
man's
kind,
nature.
has always done.
It's man's nature to fall into comfort.
Yeah.
And there could be a lesson in pride in here as well.
Yeah, totally.
Because we don't see a lot of pride in the hobbits.
Totally.
But these other races, they've prospered and they've done well, and that can become a source of pride, and you can let your guard down and become less humble.
Yep, absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's deep. Good job, Lane.
Yeah.
River running.
Wow.
Or is it the running river?
Who knows?
What? You can make one final point on this.
No, I don't think so.
Just one final point.
Please
Chapter.
do.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Dory keeps looking up like as if Smaug's going to drop right out
Dory's
of the sky.
a dork, man.
Just he's coming down, And then at the end, they do look west, they look east, they look south, right? They do see a suspicious, cluster of birds.
Gathering of birds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Huh?
What could that be?
What's that, right?
Bilbo didn't trust him.
So no.
Seriously, what is the birds? I even have a note right here. What's the deal with the birds at the end of the chapter?
I remember last chapter, I literally forgot that the thrush goes back and reveals that Smaug has a missing scale. I totally forgot that the thrush did that, and
Goes to Lake Town.
Goes to Lake Town, yeah. So I got all.
Does he tell Bard? Is that how that happens?
Because they can still speak the old They can,
and especially
interpret
him,
it.
right?
Yes.
He can still.
Yeah. He understands their language.
What an interesting, not looking ahead too far, I guess, but kind of, because actually next time we're recording with your brother in the Middle Earth spirit realm, Mike Charles.
Get out of town.
Yeah, because he loves Bard as well. So he wanted to talk about Bard. So we got Faramir and we got Boromir back to back, which is pretty cool.
I'm gonna miss him.
Yeah. We'll get together.
We should do like a
do
foursome
something.
sometime.
Yes, we should.
That
do
would
a
be great.
foursome.
Okay.
That would really be cool.
I like it.
Who's going to sit across from who in this foursome?
I think it'll be Lane and I, and then we'll just put Curt across from his brother.
Lane and I.
Maybe we should draw cards or like roll die.
Or flip a ring.
Somebody get me an Arkenstone.
But Mike Charles will be coming. He loves Bard. But what an interesting thing, right, to get myself back on track. What a dummy. Don't be so hard on yourself. Quit talking to yourself. Shut up.
Hey.
What? That, like what Peter Jackson did for Bard in the film to flesh him out more, to make him a deeper character, to explore him a little bit more.
Yeah.
There are times where I'm like, I don't know, do we need his kids?
Yeah.
Which is ironic because I love my children, but it's like I don't know. We don't really know, like we barely know Bard, and we're about to go into a huge hero moment.
Yeah.
And that's, I don't know, it's just interesting. It's interesting how The Hobbit is different from what his later writings, where it seemed like there was more build up, there was a little more anticipation, but then again, you got Strider surprising you. So maybe not. Maybe I'm just talking out of my butt.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Are we?
Go ahead.
Are we good?
What?
We good? All right.
Yeah.
So I did put a Bywater Post in.
Excellent.
I'm just wondering if you can read it, because there's a lot of big words in it.
Okay.
And I've got
names and whatnot.
And I'm pulling up.
Does Curt wanna read it?
I'm pulling up some easy riddles for Curt.
I have some.
Oh, you have some too.
I have some from an email.
I have some too that I like.
These came from an upper. So.
All right, cool. Well,
all right.
I at least want to read one.
Do you want to read this? You want me to read it?
Oh, go ahead.
Are you sure?
Yeah, go ahead.
I mean, people want your voice, man.
He's nervous because I said there's big words in there.
Oh, he can't. He doesn't know where it is. Help him.
I'm scrolling.
It's in the green. Bywater Post. Good day, gentlemen.
But it's
Bywater Post.
Aviva. It's a cool
Aviva?
name.
Is that okay? See,
like
you see,
Aviva
Curt, you see how I just got stumped right there. I've butchered
Aviva
so
Jane.
many names that I'm like, come on now, Ez.
Start calling you the butcher.
Good day, gentlemen. My name is Aviva Jane Aarons, and I hail from the strangest of lands in the east, the Jersey Shore.
Wow.
Indeed.
It's a tan land.
An evil wind doth blow. Just kidding.
No, that's fitting.
I just started listening to the podcast a few weeks ago, and I'm starting from the beginning, so I'm about 60 episodes in. Congratulations. Hang in there.
Yeah.
But I listen to an episode every day at work after my lunch break.
Wow.
So I'm slowly catching up. That's patriotism. I followed the page and joined the group, and last night started supporting you guys on Patreon.
Thank you.
Hey.
Yeah.
I'm an elf. This must be old.
Yes,
It is.
they all are.
We're all in the
We're
fellowship
so
now.
backlogged.
We're so backlogged.
Since I'm so behind, I don't even know if you read these in the episodes anymore. Proof we do.
I love it.
But I want to share with you regardless. I was thinking of waiting till I caught up, but today I listened to episode 17, The Ring Goes South, where you guys talked about your personal Carathras.
I forgot we even did that.
Yeah, it made me think about what my Carathras would be.
Wow.
What has changed or altered the course of my life? And the answer for me is The Lord of the Rings. You're in good place. I've been blessed in that I've always known what I wanted to do in my life. It's changed over the years, but there has never a period when I didn't have a specific job, dream, or goal in the back of my mind. Throughout elementary school, I wanted to be a veterinarian. Then in middle school, I discovered an interest in the love for history, specifically ancient mythology. So I considered doing something in that field.
Wow.
Then in the 8th grade, a friend of a friend suggested that I watch The Lord of the Rings. I had absolutely no idea what it was and had never really heard of it before. But I vaguely recalled seeing it on our DVD shelf, so I asked my mom if I could watch it. That's awesome. He's got good parents, too. They just got Lord of the Rings just up on the shelf.
Chilling on the DVD, on the DVD
He's in good
shelf.
hands. I instantly fell in love and watched all 3 very quickly. Well, you didn't watch them too quickly. That's about 9 hours of movie. I watched them with the actor's commentary. Yes, that's how you do it. I watched them with the actor's commentary, and I watched the appendices. I even bought one of the extended editions for my stepdad because he only had 2 of them, and I wanted to watch them all. Man, I want to be part of their family. I became obsessed with the movies, the actors, Peter Jackson, and eventually Tolkien himself. I couldn't get through the books. I couldn't get through the books back then. I think I stopped in the beginning of Return of the King, but I've read them in full since then, and I'm reading them again now, a chapter a night before bed.
Wow.
I loved how in-depth he went, creating an entire world with different races and kingdoms and history and mythology and languages. The only series I'd read before then that come anywhere close to that level of world development was Christopher, I'm going to trip up on this, Christopher Paolini's Inheritance Cycle. I saw what Tolkien achieved and said, I want to do that. And so for the past 10 years, my dream has been writing. I've been a writer my entire life, but never seriously considered pursuing a career in writing until that point. Wow, I'm getting excited.
This is fitting.
I know.
Guys, how does this happen?
This is so crazy. I've been struggling these past few years with just actually sitting down and writing. Though I've been working on one series for 6 to 7 years, 6 to 7, not 67 years, I still haven't written half a book and have barely touched it in 3 years. But listening to this podcast and hearing other people's stories about the different ways Tolkien has changed their life and seeing the community that the two of you have built has reminded me why I was writing in the first place. I want to have that kind of impact on people, to inspire them and help them through the difficulties of life. That's what I loved and still love most about these books. This podcast, this book club, fellowship, has reminded me and inspired me, and I've been working a little on my book every day for about 2 weeks.
Wow.
Congratulations to you. Well, this turned out to be 10 times longer than I expected.
Aviva Jane, that's what you're supposed to do.
Yeah. I was hoping for a few more pages. I just wanted to share what Tolkien means to me, and more importantly, what you guys mean to me. Here. I started listening because I was bored, and you two were funny and reminded me of me and my bestie. I never expected you would end up helping me get my life back on track that Tolkien set me on 10 years ago. Wow. Thank you so much. Never stop being the amazing, kind-hearted, and inspiring men that you are. With love, gratitude, and respect, AJ.
So Aviva, when Aviva writes her book and gets it published, I think we deserve a little bit of a shout out. Aviva, just put a little acknowledgement for us. Is that okay? Since we inspired you, I'm joking.
No,
I'm joking. I love too. That's beautiful. We were just talking about this, right? We were just talking about
guys.
Pursuing.
This is magic.
And this is what she's doing, and I also think too that I think we think of Caradhras as like. First of all, I can never say that word right, but
that's why I
sometimes
it's a TH.
Caradhras, yes, okay. as negative things, right? But she put this spin on it as being a positive thing, like discovering something, and how discovering something can change and alter the course of your life as well. Yeah, like that's amazing. Yeah. I mean, we just to think that this was a roadblock for the Fellowship. It was something that that even Gandalf and Aragorn kind of argued over: should we do this? Should we go this way? Should we not?
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
That's cool.
I just think
I love that, man.
I'm telling you right now.
Wow.
Lane knows this. Kurt knows this. Before we start, sometimes Ez forgets to put a Tolkien story in. I just went, and the Spirit guided me.
You.
And that fits for what we were talking about, like having, like getting back into what you're passionate about, like looking inward and saying, what do I want to do? Finding out that this story motivates me. I'm telling you guys right now, and I told Kurt a little bit about this. I'm not going to full disclosure here, but there's something that I'm working on, that I'm pursuing, and not just in like career or whatever. There's something else, a little special. And I think of these stories as someone, and I think of these stories, and like they do drive you forward. I get motivation from them. I try to even like take my life and think about it in terms of like, where is this in the story? What the arc that I'm on right now? Where am I at in the midst of? Is it Fellowship? Are we at the end of that? Are we in Two Towers? Has Gandalf returned yet? Like I look at my life and my friends' lives, and I think that's where we're at in this story. Like not that it has to go in sequence, but you can make connections to it, and it's cool. It can get you fired up. Yeah. And if it can re-inspire you to go back and start writing and what have you, I just think it's awesome, and I'm glad we're reading this during the pandemic, and we kept going with all of this, and we, because it's been trying times, and it's, I don't know, I'm just happy and inspired by that, and I hope that's one more story right there in the group that if you're feeling like you want to lean into something that you've been,
exactly what Kurt was talking about.
Yeah, exactly. Lean into that and go with it.
Go for it.
It's I think you'll be rewarded. I think you'd be regretting. I think imagine if Bilbo hadn't gone on this journey. He'd have sat there for his whole life and thought, I heard. I mean, he'd even hear distantly that something happened, that some dwarves, something.
Yeah, he would have caught rumor of it.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah.
They rooted out a dragon.
Oh, could have been part of that.
Yeah.
Could have been a part of that.
He would have brought it down to the Green Dragon too.
They picked up another 14th though. It was one of the tooks.
Yeah.
Gandalf said, "I'm moving on." No, just anyway. So yeah, AJ,
That's what Ted Sandyman was probably thinking. Could have been me. I wasn't such a jerk of a hobbit. All right. So we have some riddles, and we got a really nice email from Rachel Stenson. I want to bring this up because this is a weird little connection. So we've talked about Patrick Allen, big wig of Fansided.
Fansided. Let's go, baby.
He's also, he's one of their main writers at Fansided. Was one of the original guys, right?
Right.
Who started Fansided. He also has a Chiefs podcast called Arrowhead Addict. Yeah. All right. So he's a Chiefs fan, big time, diehard.
Football.
Yes.
Okay.
We forgive him for that, don't we?
Yeah, I mean,
I'm just kidding.
I like Patrick Mahomes a lot.
I'm kidding.
So.
I don't know.
Is Patrick Allen Patrick Mahomes?
I'm a Bengals fan, so forgive me.
Brownies, baby.
Who Dey?
They are going to be Who Dey, man. I don't even know what I'm saying.
Sorry.
So no. That is hard to work with. Is that what I'm like all the time?
Yes.
Do you guys like me or do you patronize me?
Go back to the beginning of this podcast and find out.
Okay, we'll find out.
We Patreonize you.
She is made a weird connection because she's been listening to Patrick for years on Arrowhead Addict. I was like, wait a minute, they're talking about Fanside, they're talking about Patrick. Oh, cool connection there. So anyway, her world just got a little bit smaller, she said. She's got 2 riddles. Okay?
Yeah.
And I do have the answers.
And I don't, so let's go, Kurt. You and I.
So we do it. Yes. And I'm going to copy and
Are we
paste
allowed
them.
to use Google for this?
I'm literally no help to you, just so you know. So,
Are you allowed to use Google?
Like, I'm terrible.
Bing something.
Ask Jeeves. You can ask Jeeves.
Is that still a thing?
I hope it is.
Is it?
What kind of world are we living in if Jeeves isn't around anymore?
I used to use that.
Okay, here's the first one. Don't scroll all the way to the bottom. That's where I have it, so I can see the answer.
Yeah.
Okay, you cheater.
It's totally a thing.
3 lives. Is it really?
Yeah.
3 lives have I, gentle enough to soothe the skin, light enough to caress the sky, hard enough to crack rocks. What am I? This is a good one.
Lives?
3 lives have I.
It's not a cat.
Rachel, these are amazing.
All right.
Well done, Rachel.
Hit me one more time. 3 lives have I.
I will repeat the question. 3 lives have I. Again, 3. Gentle enough to soothe the skin, light enough to caress the sky, hard enough to crack rocks.
Water.
What am I? Wow.
That fits, kind of.
It's right.
Is that right?
Exactly.
3 lives? Water has 3 lives.
It can take 3 forms. Think about it. Water can soothe the skin as liquid. It can float in the sky as clouds, and it can freeze in the rocks and crack it.
Guys,
So we can never have Curt on again because he's just making us look so inept.
Oh my
I'm joking.
God.
But, dude, that's
2
brilliant.
points for inept.
I don't know. What
It's a good word.
I don't know what it means.
I'm just 2 points.
Okay, just for using it.
Friends, don't worry. I'm with you.
There
I
are
have
another
no
big word.
idea what's going on right now.
I'm gonna
You're
adapt
using
to
big
myself.
words. I'm going to...
I used that one wrong.
Ineptation.
Riddle number 2
All right.
from Rachel. That was so fast.
That was
dude.
good, Kurt.
That was so fast.
Thank you.
I was carried into a dark room and set on fire. I wept, and then my head was cut off. What am I?
Candle?
Yeah.
Is it a candle? No, I didn't even look that up. That's not...
It's a candle.
It's although I do have a candle
It's a candle,
riddle.
right?
I do have a candle
Yeah,
riddle.
it's a candle.
Yeah.
Let's go. I knew that one. I knew that one.
I'm going pee real quick.
You
That
go,
was
go.
way too... I
Go.
thought that was going to take 10 minutes.
Can I talk to Kurt while you're gone? Absolutely. Okay, cool. So
Good luck,
we're
buddy.
letting him do his thing. Yeah, I know.
Ride a horse.
Cheesy cow. This happens, and I love it.
Are we still recording?
Yeah, we're still
All
recording.
right, good.
Yeah. So, should we continue on, or should we edit this out?
Hit me up.
Hit you up. Here we got you some.
This
Okay.
is fine.
All right, here we go. So, what has to... Hey, keep it down. Trying to continue the podcast. What has to be broken before you can use it? These are just simple... Egg. Yeah, okay. Yeah, dang. I am tall when I'm young, and I am short when I'm old. What am I? That's a little too easy. No, it's not easy. That's actually not enough. There's not enough.
That's it? That's all there is
That's
to
it.
it?
I'm tall when I'm young, and I'm short when I'm old.
Short when I'm old.
What am I? We already had the answer. We already had. It was the second. It's just that's weak. That's weak sauce. I literally just looked these up. Easy riddles.
Oh, a candle.
A candle, yeah.
Oh, that's
but
good.
there's not enough. I feel like there needs to
It needs one more.
It needs one more line because going into a dark room gives the candle.
As soon as
one.
you said set on fire, I was like, oh, it's a candle.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Let's see. What is full of holes but still holds water? Not Lane. Not Lane.
Cheese.
No, cheese doesn't hold water.
Swiss cheese.
Sponge.
Sponge. Thank you.
Yeah, sponge cake.
Lane. What is always in front of you but can't be seen? My God.
The future.
Let's go, guys. We're on a roll
Bingo.
now. I just need to build my
it's bingo
confidence
too?
up. Just need to build my confidence up a little bit.
Let's see
if Lane can get that one. Let's see if Lane can get that one.
Which one?
When I'm,
Yeah, I got it right.
phrase it right. I don't want to get it wrong.
Turtle.
When I'm tall when I'm young, and I'm short when I'm old.
I can think of a lot of things.
That's what I said.
Keep them appropriate.
Okay, so don't not manscaping region.
I knew he was going to say Manscaped. I knew he was.
I'm tall when I'm young,
Yeah.
short when I'm old.
He was, guys. He wasn't here when
Candle.
we did this. Candle. Good job. Did you look at my phone? Did you look?
No, I'm
Good
just as
job.
quick as you guys.
I didn't get that.
I
one.
looked at
All
the
right,
candle.
I didn't get that one.
Yeah,
Unbelievable.
right. You got the harder one about a candle.
Yeah. Well.
I don't. Something's fishy. Okay.
Something's
I know
off.
that we're not at Lake Town yet, but I'm smelling fish. Okay, and it's not the fart that just crept out of the. It was somebody else.
You know I'm
in the
not
other
editing
room.
that out.
What kind of fish do you
fine.
think they have in Lake Town?
I don't.
You know how
envision it-
regions are known for their fish.
Yeah.
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 I don't think it's something like as nice as salmon.
It's probably not.
I think it's probably like.
You think it's carpy?
perch. Yeah, dude. No, I
Carp?
bet it's catfish.
I'm thinking Alaskan whitetail.
Like channel cat.
Alaskan whitetail. Yeah, like muddy river.
Yeah.
Like mud cats.
Oh man.
And they're just like, man, well, it's better than nothing. It's better than
Bunch
a
of
dragon.
carp.
It's
Literally a
freshwater.
bunch of carp.
We're pretty sure it's freshwater. It's a
Yeah.
lake.
True,
I
it is a
don't
lake.
think we're on the ocean.
Salt
right?
Lake.
So
Could be
it's-
Salt Lake.
could be
Nah,
Salt
they
Lake.
would have smelled the salt in the air. It's all about sniffing with
Yeah.
Tolkien.
They never forget the sniffing.
Never.
Yeah, it could be like yeah, I think you're right. It could be like it's probably some bluegill.
You know, maybe we're
Good old fashioned bluegill.
I guess why am I shooting low? Why am I like? I almost think maybe they got some.
Bull shark,
Well, you know,
river shark.
You know they can swim in fresh water.
I
We've
literally
talked
can't.
about
I'm
this.
scared of water
Oh, I am too.
and heights.
Think about this. And
And
Kurt's
Bigfoot.
Lake Town lifeguard. You know,
Yes, he is. Yes,
but
he
just think about this: the best human swimmer is worse in the water
is. Than a bluegill.
than the worst swimming predator.
Fish. Yeah,
If something wants to get you in the water, good luck to you.
you're done.
Good luck.
You don't stand a
Let's
chance
get your
out
Bowie
there.
knife. You
I
know
don't
what I'm saying?
I'd put Michael Phelps up against some fish. He might be able to
Yeah,
do
he
some
might.
damage.
That's a good call. He might be Aquaman.
Michael
though.
Phelps on the grass or off the grass?
Whichever's better.
Whoa, 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 whoa!
Whichever
One is the
one's
most
better.
focused.
On the seaweed?
Whichever one's better.
On the seaweed.
On the pipe. yeah, he's
God.
smoking.
Smoking seaweed over there in
Seaweed.
Lake Town. All right, wow, we're getting carried away.
We're getting a long ways off track
So
here.
fun. It's so
I
much
know it is.
fun.
I love
it
talking
is.
with you guys.
I love it
Kurt,
too, man.
We've
Even
loved
if
this.
nobody likes listening to it.
Oh, yeah. Exactly.
I was just thinking as I took a little break there. I was like, "This is a night I will remember
Oh,
forever."
yeah. We'll
It's
be
a night I'll
talking
remember
about it
forever. It's,
We'll be
it's one
talking
of those
about it.
like those mile markers that you I don't know you pin down in life, and you're like, "It's a good night."
I know.
It's a good night.
Well, it's good being back together with you guys, and it's clear that we've come together at a very transitional time in all of our lives.
This was a transitional chapter.
Transitional time for,
True,
for
that's
me,
true, yeah.
for you and your
Yeah.
family, for you and what you got going
Yep.
on. I mean, there's clearly some huge changes going on,
Yeah.
and honestly, like it feels so natural coming out of what we've come out of in the last year and a half.
Yeah.
It's like it's nice to come back to what real life and the real world, but it's different.
Yes.
Right? So much is, we can't deny it. So much has changed.
Yep.
But it feels good to be back to normal. And I'm glad that we're together, getting to share some time at a very transformational time in all our lives.
I guess
That
you
makes
could
it
say
that much more special.
Yes, yeah. I
Agreed.
guess you could
You're
say
here.
there's still a part of us that's not quite at home.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
Sucked. It's terrible.
Oh, that was pretty good.
Okay.
I didn't think it was terrible.
Take it easy, Lane, on yourself.
Can we
Shut
get?
up.
Can
I
we,
mean, it wasn't amazing, but it wasn't terrible.
The truth.
See what I'm
You
saying?
know, the closer you get, the more honest you are with each other.
let's
Love
get,
you, bro.
Let's get Curt home.
I love you too.
We do love you.
I know.
I
I'm
love
trying to
you
keep
guys.
him long.
Hey.
Don't touch me.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
How can our friends share telod?
Friends, hey, send us in more of those Tolkien stories.
Yeah,
I love those.
And some riddles, please.
Yes, we love the riddles, and those were good. Those were really
were
good
good.
riddles.
Riddle me Elmo. Do you guys know about that?
No.
It's actually the Tolkien version is Riddle me Elmo.
Oh yeah, that's cool.
Ulmo. Yeah,
Ulmo, yeah,
that's
that's
good.
sick.
I get it.
Anyway, yeah, send those in to us. You can send them to anunexpectedpod@gmail.com. Lane is so disappointed at me for not getting any of these
So good.
references. You can also go over and follow us on the page at Up Talkin' Tolkien on Instagram, all that good stuff. Check it out. We'll have some photos of the food. I took some photos of the food earlier. Well, the feast that we had that Bilbo and the dwarves did not.
And I think there's going to be a selfie that gets pushed out at some point.
Yeah, we'll get a little
which is pretty
selfie
cool.
action.
Maybe Curt could send that to us. We put it on the because I actually it's funny that he did it. I don't like one thing I miss about not being on social media and my phone. The one thing I miss about my phone is I don't take pictures with people anymore.
Yeah.
And it just doesn't happen. And so I kind of miss that. And I miss like someone going, "Hey, let's get a picture together." I actually miss that.
Yeah.
He's gonna take one now, isn't he?
Yeah, let's do it right now.
Yeah, he's clutch.
Recording.
Look how clutch this is.
Look at this is Inception stuff.
This is right here as there's a confidence. He's been using.
Also, I want people to go watch this because it's amazing that he is wearing
Let's go.
an ugly.
Oh, an ugly.
Oh yeah.
He's
I
got
love that
an
you're wearing an
original ugly tee. This thing is like 4 years old.
It's even faded.
This is
It's
the
more
original.
faded.
This is
More
the
fa-
original.
Bro, I wear
do-
this.
it's-
I wear it.
by
Like,
the
I wear
way-
it like twice a week.
It's not as ugly as we first thought.
Well, now it's got this.
We've dubbed it the
got-
uglies, but it's not.
It's got a special
beautiful.
meaning to
I know
us.
it- I know it does.
Yeah, Gandalf's mark hiding,
I
peeking
wear
out
it
down there.
special. I wear it multiple times a week.
That's awesome. God, that's awesome.
Oh, and the other two.
Yeah.
The
The
Glorfindel
and
Yeah.
and the face.
Yep.
the name game.
Let's do it.
I wear those out in public. Like I wear them all the time.
God, yes.
Now, could you tell that name was in my hair and game was in my beard?
No, it's not.
Ooh, go back and dig a
No,
look.
it's not.
I told you it wasn't that obvious.
thought
and
you
it's
were
good.
the only
It's
one
so
who-
subtle. It's
I'm
so
gonna go
good.
home and look.
Yeah.
Go
Kelly's
look
like,
at your
what is it? It's
shirt.
be 2 in the morning. I'll be the
Name.
flashlight. He's like, what are you doing? Like, he said it's got name in the hair.
Oh my god. Oh
I
my
wear
God.
this once a week. How have I not seen that?
Oh,
Ez and Sarah were the same way.
this is what he does. He's a genius. That's
Oh, come on.
That's layers.
No,
I
it
love
is.
you for that.
That's next
guys are
level.
geniuses.
That's Tolkien-ish.
Yeah. So, anyways, Curt, we love you.
Wash my hands.
Seriously,
Yes.
I want you to
Oh
be
my
careful going
gosh.
home. Thank you so much for this. You're freaking
I
wonderful.
wish we could keep. Man, I wish we
and
could
I wish
just
you.
keep going.
I know you do. I know, but he's not home.
I know. Not at home yet.
I know. So, but yeah, friends, thanks. This has been fun. And
yeah. I guess I'll wrap us up.
oh, you
something
didn't want
like
me to? Yeah. Okay. Steal your.
You
thunder.
don't ever read the green.
Don't
Do
you
understand
ever
me?
read the green?
I do want Curt, if he wants to say the final,
Sure. Yes, sir.
BK. We want to thank you for reclaiming Erebor kind of with us. Next time we'll be seeing Lake Town's Fire Brigade in action. Hopefully all those drills and city planning paid off. If not, we're going to call in Curt because we know he can carry those buckets of water and just swim at the same time. He's a special type of fish, let me tell you that. In chapter 14, which will be next, Fire and Water, and we're going to be recording that with Kurt's spirit brother, the one and only Mike Charles, and that's so exciting. I can't wait to see Mike.
Boromir to my Faramir.
Yeah.
Amen.
Looking forward to that. Yes. Well, friends, if you like our podcast, don't forget to subscribe, like us, write a review, leave a comment, or send us a Shadowfax. We will see you in a fortnight. And remember,
Bilbo knows.